mouth-watering encounter in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. Today, the two teams to start us off on this blockbuster Sunday, the Golden State Grizzlies up against the San Diego Surf Riders. Alongside me, my good friend commentator Suhas Vedam. Suhas, we had one day at Morgan Hill. What can we expect from day two?
Very good morning, Nikhil. Very good morning to everyone watching. We can expect a lot more cricketing action. It's going to be a fresh pitch, and the two teams eager to get on with it. They want to make sure that the results are in favor this time around.
So much has happened in this Pacific Conference. Let's have a look at how things are stacked up for the various teams. And for this, in this Western Conference, so tight, so tightly contested with three teams tied on 8 points, the Thunderbolts, the Grizzlies, and the Blazers. The Grizzlies, well, they'll need a win after stumbling in the last three, 2 losses and a win. And for the Surf Riders, who have only been able to pick up 1 win, boy, do they need some momentum, some things to go in their favor. Earlier, we had the toss where the two captains, Greg Hay and Sami Aslam, made their way out to the middle. You see Sami Aslam with the coin in hand, the home captain for today. Greg Hay calling right, winning the toss and electing to bat first. A pretty expected decision when you look at how well they were able to construct their innings yesterday. Well, Suhas, throughout this tournament, we've had some fantastic analysis, some fantastic perspective and insight from our good friends at the MiLC Network. Well, today, Nate Hayes, over to you on what this Super Sunday has to offer.
Golden State Grizzlies will be ready to bounce back from their loss to East Bay Blazers yesterday, and San Diego Surf Riders will hope that their batting in their loss to the Strikers is just a sign of things to come. The Grizzlies struggled at Morgan Hill on Saturday against a steady dose of spin from the Blazers. They scored low, but bowled well enough to drag the chase to the final over, demonstrating that you just don't dominate the Grizzlies in both innings. San Diego will hope it doesn't come down to spin, and they'll be leaning on lessons learned on Saturday by Kakani, Murad, and Tondali, their top 3 bowlers this year. Greg Hay is a good captain, and he'll need to be at his best against a hungry Grizzlies team that wants to make gains in NRR.
Well, one main thing you can hear from Nate Hayes is all about youth in this San Diego Surf Riders team. Unchanged today, they'll look to the likes of Sri Krishna Nataraju, the all-round ability of Adnish Tondale Zubair Murad, who picked up a wicket and struck 4 huge maximums yesterday. Abhinay Reddy's provided a good burst for them off the bench in the latter half of this first phase.
The Golden State Grizzlies, captained by Sami Aslam. Today they've made a change. Sharia Khan sitting out. As far as the team with more or less the same team, except for the services of Sharia Khan. Abhinder Singh has to step up with leg spin as well. Ehsan Adil needs to come good once again with the new ball.
Well, there you have it. About to unfold here. And what's a very important matchup for these two teams. The Grizzlies coming off of a surprising loss yesterday to the East Bay Blazers. And for the Surf Riders, whilst they had a lot of positives to take from the afternoon encounter against the Silicon Valley Strikers, they weren't able to pick up the win. Only 1 win now coming in this first 5 games for the Surf Riders. It's going to be Greg Hay, the captain, facing the first delivery for this San Diego team. He's had a decent start to the tournament, but we're looking now to get that real big total for his team. We're going to get them off to a good start.
Greg Hay has not been amongst the runs. He's getting starts. He's got to convert and want to believe this is the game. He's called it right as far as the coin's concerned, and it's only happened 2 times so far for Greg Hay.
Ehsan Adil, the man with the golden arm so far for the Grizzlies, the leading wicket taker in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. Boy, has he been impressive. And I'll be excited to see how he fares on this surface as well. Bit of extra green grass will help with the sideways movements. Ehsan Adil, he's been mightily impressive with his 14 wickets so far in his first minor league season. First delivery, Adil to Greg Hay. Both teams will want to get off to a really good start. If you are the Golden State Grizzlies, it's all about early wickets with that new ball. First delivery, here we go. Straight up on the money, attacking the stumps. Hay able to get off the mark. And it'll bring a new opening partner No, it was actually Sri
Center,
Krishna
he said?
Anantaraju who was
Get him.
facing the first delivery. Greg Hay now
Maybe.
comes on to strike. So
Maybe.
Anantaraju, the
That's the
youngster,
center.
in his... It's now
That's my
for this Surf Riders. They've gone with this opening pair throughout the tournament. They're looking to really try to put together an impactful opening score for his team in this first 6 overs. Good delivery this time, bringing that slip into play, attacking the 4 stump. So as not only have they made one change, the Grizzlies, they've also are without Hamad Azam, their 2021 MVP, dealing with that right shoulder injury, which has put him out from bowling. Saw it and get hurt in just the 2nd game of the season. How much of an impact the man coming in with so many runs, 12 wickets last year as well. What type of impact do we think that will have on this game today? Is such an important one for the Golden State Grizzlies.
Yes, they can't afford a slump like they did yesterday, because Azam was able to put at least 20 together, even though he was manacled with the way that he couldn't free his arms, not because of the injury, but because of the situation. It's a huge blow indeed. They've got to put it behind them.
Able to get back on it here. He will also get off the mark. So both openers underway for the San Diego Surf Riders. We saw a much freer start from these two in their what was their best batting performance for the Surf Riders. Boy, were they impressive. 184 they got up to in the 20 overs against one of the more formidable bowling attacks in the Strikers. And that will do them a lot of confidence coming into today. They have to pick up wins, though, in such a tightly contested Western Conference.
Big learning curve the previous game. And the man on your screen needs to bat for a longer period of time, perhaps play the anchor's role.
Run out chance at the bowler's end. If he had hit Isan Adil, would have been gone by a long way. Greg Hayes quick, gets back there and safely in the end.
Danger averted. San Diego Surf Riders would have had their heart in their mouth. And no chance for the batter. Greg Hay was a goner. He was alongside Ishan, who took his time, did the right thing, took his time before he put the throw in, but the collect wasn't clean. Had that been a clean collect, Greg Hay would have continued that run all the way to the pavilion.
Well, these two, they have a good understanding. 6th time that they've spent opening the batting in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, of course, presented by Sunoco. So great to have our corporate partners on board for a 2nd season. Good shout, very good shout. Maybe just sliding on the leg side. Isan Adil, he can't believe it. Just getting one to come back to the right-hander, Sri Krishna Anantaraju, surprised him. But it's that strong wrist position, making things happen early on.
A beautiful line, a little bit of movement after pitching as well. Sri Krishna Anantaraju is tall, all right. It hit him slightly lower. That's a very good shout.
Well, what a revelation this man has been. It's because of deliveries like that. 14 wickets, but also an average of 11 in this minor league. If he keeps this up, the Grizzlies, they'll feel like they have a really good chance to finish in that top 2 with a one eye on the playoffs. 4 wins and 2 losses, not a bad position, but in such a tight Western Conference, you've got to win every single game, especially in your group against the Surf Riders. This time, flashed, over slip. And 3rd man is in place, but he's wide. It will be the first boundary for Sri Krishna Anantaraju and the San Diego Surf Riders.
That's the advantage of being vertically blessed. You get the elevation easier when the ball's also bouncing a little more. He's did the right thing there to go for the flashy shot, gets the first boundary. 6 after the first over, 6 for no loss.
Been truly fantastic, Adil. You won't mind that too much. Seeing that flash, knowing he's bringing the outside edge into play. The man has just been in the wickets. The reason he's been able to take part in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship is because of brands like Toyota taking the game globally. 2nd season running. Fantastic to have them And also our official sponsors, Dafa News, taking the game to international waters. And of course, not only cricket, not only the minor league, but all news over at Dafa. Check them out. So full roundups every weekend. Greg Hay, such an important period for him as a captain. Rushir Joshi into the team today. I like this move from the Grizzlies. Again, some miscommunication between these two. Hey, I think he's gone. Second time in the first 2 overs, he was sent back, Sri Krishna Anantaraju. This time, though, the Grizzlies hit on the money straight away. A great start for them.
Just what the Grizzlies wanted. Another opportunity. That it's a brain fade moment. A tall Anantaraju could not get there after sliding his bat too.
Where was he going, Sri Krishna Anantaraju? Not what's needed in this situation. He's gone for 4. First wicket goes down, 6 for 1. Well, first delivery for Joshi, straight away able to inflict some impact into this game. You'll be very happy that they've been able to strike early in this second over the Grizzlies, especially after what happened yesterday. Only able to get up to 123, lost that game by 5 wickets against the East Bay Blazers. Harish Kakani comes to the middle, a man that has been in the runs for this Surf Riders team. Also in the wickets, the leading wicket taker for them across the 6 games. 130 runs across his minor league career. Just on Joshi, they'll be really hoping that they can get some sort of consistency from him across a stretch. Again, this time off the bottom of the bat, and it's going to be more runs. Greg Hay showing that he has that attacking intent. Hasn't been the most convincing, but it's 4 nonetheless.
Still getting a feel of what this pitch has to offer. It didn't bounce as much, but because he's gone at it with hard hands, had enough fuel to reach the fence.
Just why I was making the point about Rushir Joshi, a man that was in that USA International setup, training with the national team. It's so important that they back him, I think, consistently across the tournament. Comes down the track again. Joshi's been in and out of that setup, but I think he's the type of bowler with the type of pace he's able to generate, making the switch against the East from to the Grizzlies this season. They need that bit of extra pace. I think on this surface they've gone for him instead of Khan, who's been in the wickets. I like the move from Sami Aslam, and I hope that they can back him, allow him to get into a rhythm across some more games in the tournament.
What I'd be more interested in seeing Ruchir Joshi do is his rhythm completely, because he's someone who had to nurse an injury to his ankle off late. So when he's coming back, it's always important for the bowler to feel the rhythm. And then comes the ball coming out of the hand as well. If all that's all right, everything will fall in place for Ruchir Joshi, who's got tons of talent.
Love the line though from Joshi. He's been very straight, very attacking, and straight away, something that he struggled with early in his spell, has been finding that consistency. He's been a bit wayward today though. You can just tell a different level of hunger within him. 5 runs conceded, but also inflicting that wicket. Much different look about Rushir Joshi today, and he knows how important it is to put in a good performance for his team. Like that with slip in place, bringing the outside edge into play. Coming into this, Rushir Joshi, just 3 matches, would have only bowled 2 innings, 5.3 overs. Has been very expensive, gone at over 10 runs and over, so important that he gets a good performance under his belt.
This is the first time he gives so much width to the batter, otherwise everything's been on the stumps. There's some movement after pitching, so the surface is assisting.
Good delivery, excellent delivery, and you can see there some movement off the surface. We saw it in the first over. Good over from Joshi, 11 for 1.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, तेरे घर लाने का।
My son is so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom.
Born for your trousseau, the 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
Back here at Morgan Hill, if you're now joining us, day number 2 of this third weekend in the 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. Ihsan Adil continuing. Down the track this time. Didn't quite middle it, but he will get to the boundary. Just slows up. It's a quick outfield. Surprised that that one didn't actually go in, but it tells you about the timing from Kakani.
Yeah, wasn't the best from Kakani, but it was premeditated to dance down the track and put Ihsan Adil off his right length.
Well, you see there in the second over, the moment that really caused some turmoil for the San Diego Surf Riders team. Greg Hayton, that was never a single. Realizing that you've got 3 very close to the bat. Sri Krishna Nantaraju trying to bring that intensity, trying to get to the other end. But you have to think the cricket as a youngster. Second time this happened for this pair. Was gone by a long way. Good piece of work.
A direct hit when it was required the most as well. First time lucky, second time shy.
What a delivery. That is test line and length. Jimmy Anderson, short, especially short broad. Very similar to Adil with those strong wrists behind the ball. We'll be very pleased with that. Yesterday, Ihsan Adil, both 3 on the trot inside the power play. 1 for 21 against the East Bay Blazers. They were looking for wickets.
It's a late swing that troubles the batter so much. Almost tested the outside edge. And love that extra bit of bounce as well. That there's something about Ihsan Adil every time he runs in. He's such an exciting cricketer to watch. And when he gets it right, even more so.
This time, punched but straight to cover. There's also something different about Ihsan Adil, and I'll tell you why. And many will remember weekend number 1 of this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, where these two teams met that time at Woodley Park. And the Grizzlies, where they thumped them, bowled out the Surf Riders for just 81. And that man on screen picked up 6 wickets for 26. That was sort of his statement piece, a warning to oppositions in this tournament. So he'll know that. It'll give him some bit of extra confidence, knowing that he's already ravaged through this lineup.
And the manner in which he picked up those wickets, trapping them in front, holding the line after pitching, rattling the stumps, and then the outside edge.
Good delivery. You can see here today, though, he's changed up that approach from just being on that 4 stump. He's brought a couple of deliveries back. One close to leg before this decision that didn't go his way in the first over. But I like the way he's used both of those deliveries with that strong wrist position. I featured him as the premium moment of the week in that first weekend. It was such a good delivery that hit the top of off. His 5th of the 6 wickets. Boy, was he mightily impressive. Boy, has he been mightily impressive so far in the first 6 games.
Nikhil, you used the word hunger initially, and that's something that's been growing in him. Ihsan Adil loves to feast on wickets. Even after picking up the 5th wicket, he wanted to go for the 6th as well, attack the stumps.
You expect the man that's played at the Test international level, 6-1 internationals as well for Pakistan, Ihsan Adil. This time, hit well by Hay, but finds the man. That would disappoint him. You look at Adil, though, just 68 T20s, an average of just 21. Tells you why he's a genuine wicket taker coming from Pakistan. He's been a real proper addition for this Grizzlies team this season.
An asset with the new ball, but someone who can bowl at any stage of the game with that slower delivery too. Very difficult to pick as the arm speed doesn't change.
Tries the short one. Just Chandel able to manage to get a hand on it. Unfortunate for him because it could have easily been 5 wides. won't be very happy with that in terms of his figures, Ihsan Adil.
Good to see the intent again from Ihsan Adil. That bounced so much. Standing to his full height there, the batter. Good work by Karan. Had he not got the gloves, easily the ball would have travelled for 4.
Just speaking to Vikash Mohan, who faced Adil yesterday in his final over, he mentioned the difficulty facing Adil on this surface because of the variable bounce. With his height, a lot of deliveries keeping very added an extra degree of difficulty. It'll be interesting to watch as this game progresses. Good delivery this time. The line was so much better from Ihsan Adil. Excellent short delivery to close out the over. End of 3, 17 for 1. Well, of course, this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco wouldn't be possible without them or Toyota, our title sponsors and official sponsors, Dafa News, our 3 corporate partners on board for this 2022 season. Boy, has it been a great partnership so far. Much like what this Surf Riders team in desperate need of. Greg Hayes got a start, got a platform. He needs help from Kakani.
Harish Kakani has got his task cut out here. A senior member in the side batting with another, in fact, the skipper, Greg. They're up against a lovely youngster who's found his rhythm. All the teams in all the franchises in this tournament would be taking notice of this man, Ruchir, who's made a lovely comeback once again.
Good delivery, angling into the body of Greg here. He's bowling around the wicket, Ruchir Joshi. And he also liked bowling on this surface. Earlier, I had a look at this pitch. New, fresh surface used today. The one to the far left of the 5 strips. And you can see a lot of that live green grass on it. We'll show you a look at that very soon. But very excited. I think the seamers throughout the day in both of these matchups will be very happy with what Gary Graham, the head curator, has been able to put out. Good shot from here, but mid-on in place.
Now Ruchir has started well so far. Just a single of the first 2. And the length that he's bowling, it's going to prompt the batter to move around a little bit to manufacture his own room and try and play it. And that is when you can ask the batter to make mistakes. You can expect him to do so. So far, so good for Ruchir.
Another good delivery. Cuts him in half. Why is it important, though, that Joshi doesn't only bowl these 2 overs well, but comes back well? Something he struggled with at the death. And it's why I think you need to try to harvest Ruchir Joshi into that main seam option alongside Adil. At the back end of the innings, Shreyar Khan just doesn't have quite the pace to really trouble batters looking for those Yorkers. If he misses, he's gone the distance. A man like Joshi now you bring in has the ability to go those fast Yorkers, some shorter deliveries, and pace off. Such an important addition for them from the East Bay Blazers this season. Coming back for 2, Greg Hay. Good running by them, the Surf Riders.
Good call, very proactive. And 2 quick runners between the wickets as well for San Diego Surf Riders. That will put them at ease compared to how poor the running was in the first over and the second one. This is good communication. Yeah, you talked about Ruchir and the way that he's being groomed into somebody who can definitely bowl in the power play and at the same time grow the skills to be bowling at the death. These are 2 different skill sets, isn't it? Because the field you're offered and the protection you're offered is very different.
Got to slip in place now, Ruchir Joshi. So 2 out, 3rd man, deep mid-wicket in this first power. Looking to be innovative. Down on 1 leg. Good option from Greg Hay, the captain. And since yesterday, he's looked like a different player. So much more fluent at the crease. This is a really good inning so far. Good start for his team.
It's important that a captain comes out with a clear mind because he's got the extra burden, a lot more decisions to make. On this occasion, he was absolutely clear that he wanted to target the area behind the wicket, enough of hitting in the V.
I can tell you his good friend and former captain Marty Kane, who's with the USA international team, will be watching this game and will be very happy with his mate for that shot. This time off the inner half of the bat, but there is that deep mid-wicket in place for that reason. It's a quick outfield, does well in the end. Mohit Nataraj just to keep that to 2 runs. But you can see already Greg Hay, the intensity he's brought, 18 yesterday, in search of that Mama 218 that the strikers were able to post. End of the over, 25 for 1.
Yeah.
Four overs gone, 25 for 1. Now Greg Hay gets a move on, 17 of 14. 8 runs of the previous over, which was the highest so far. Sri Krishna Anantaraju was the only man to be dismissed and unfortunately was run out. He was running, believing Greg Hay would respond. Greg Hay did start the run and decided to go back to his own house.
But what will excite the Surf Riders, and I think is the reason they've won the toss and batted first, 7 of their batters yesterday got off the starts. Look at Greg Hay, Sri Krishna Anantaraju against a good strikers bowling attack. Spin for the first time today, Sohan Bhatt, who was so impressive yesterday in his first game. Picked up 2 wickets, just conceded 19 runs. He'll be into the attack, the left-arm spinner. You mentioned how important it is for the Grizzlies to find a 5th option. Sami Aslam has tried himself. They just haven't been able to find a reliable option in the absence of Vatsa Vaikela. But so far what Bhatt has shown, making the move from the Blazers as well, he's been mightily impressive. A different challenge though, bowling inside this first 6. So it's actually not Sohan Bhatt. Our scorers, just want to correct that, it's Shiva Mishra actually into the attack. Pretty expected, to be honest. I was kind of surprised that Sami Aslam would throw the ball to his youngster after just 1 game inside the power play. Mishra, a more experienced man that hasn't bowled very often. Kev, can you tell Josh to score? They're scoring wrong here. On a good length this time. Getting back on the back foot. This is good start from Mishra, a man that hasn't bowled very often in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. But he has a job to do for his team. 1 over in the tournament prior to this. Could this be the X factor that Sami Aslam is looking for through this partnership?
Shiva Mishra seems to be good enough to be bowling in the power play. Half the over done and dusted with his only given away a single. Shiva Mishra, the Bangalore boy, is back home in India, now calls USA his home.
I'm surprised by that because I thought Greg Hay, a man that's got to start now. Been there for a while, the captain, 14 deliveries with a part-timer on in Mishra. Sami Aslam trying to just sneak an over here. He's done this throughout because of the fact that they've struggled with a 5th and 6th option in this tournament. So quite surprised that he hasn't been able to go after Mishra. Big success, just 2 runs. This time gets him. And again, how often do we see in this game of cricket? Part-time into the attack, makes the breakthrough. Kakani is gone again. And more trouble for the Surf Riders.
I called it, guys, I called it.
Shiva Mishra removes another danger man even before he gets going. It's a nothing shot. Would you believe it? A man of Kakani's stature miscues a pull, was expecting it to be a little more bouncy. Would have to trudge back to the pavilion. Just 2 runs against his name. The San Diego Surf Riders lose a second for 27.
A real struggle for Harsh Kakani in the power play. Took 10 deliveries to get to that 2. Nikhil Datta walks in at number 4. Have seen them as this tournament has progressed. Use him much more with the bat in hand. There's a reason he's the leading run scorer with 174 runs in the 5 innings, averaging 58 with the bat in hand. Man with former international experience for Canada. 11 1 internationals, 13 T20 internationals for Data.
मैं यहाँ नोट कर चुका हूँ आप 30 सेकंड का मेरे पास है
And here though, the entire body language is definitely taken a notch up for the Grizzlies, and it would help the fact that they've taken 2 early wickets.
Well, like I said, these two teams would want to get back to winning ways very quickly. Grizzlies had a blip yesterday. They want to treat it only as a blip and not read too much into it. But still, to get those 2 points, to get back to seeing the W in front of their names means so much to them.
Starts with a full delivery. Data unable to get off the mark. But the last time these two teams met after the power play, they were 30 for 6, the Surf Riders. This is an improved start, but still, it's been a slow one for them. After 5, 27 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, तेरे घर लाने का। 1, 2, 3
Greg here, the captain, so much on his shoulders after getting the start of his team in early trouble. 2 wickets down in this power play, and a 3rd over for Rushir Joshi. The captain has seen him in a rhythm. Good delivery again. He's brought that ball back into Greg here. He's made it very difficult to score. Be happy with this return for Rushir Joshi. Man, that comes in, he's been in and out, and it's kind of disappointed that Sami Aslam and the management team from the Grizzlies didn't show enough faith in him. Yes, he's come back off an injury, but I just think a man that's obviously been highly recognized, part of that USA setup before they went over to Oman last year, was in the training group, clearly has something about him. Got to bat your youngsters. Comes down the track. And just able to get it over the infield. Won't go to the boundary, just one for Greg Hay.
Not in control. Now this is a delivery which will give a lot of confidence to young Ruchir Joshi. It's all about mixing it up in this format of the game as well. It's good to see him have the courage to do so within the first 6 overs. That took Greg Hay by surprise. Nikhil Datta. He's got loads of international experience playing for Canada now. For the Surf Riders, he needs to bail this team out of problems. Greg Hay's got a start, and that is one positive that Nikhil Datta can also look at.
Datta, the only man to cross the 100-run mark before this game. Greg Hay has now gone past it with his start. But batting has been a major issue for this Surf Riders team. One that they'll be looking to rectify as this game goes on and as the season progresses, because it's a young team. So you have to, if you are the Surf Riders, look to take small positives away. A huge one would have been getting up to 184 against the Strikers yesterday. And that's probably why Hay won the toss and was happy to say that he's going to bat first. And a decent start by him. Good length this time from Joshi. Very hard to score from there. What has impressed you the most about the youngster coming back in now for his 3rd game?
The rhythm and the courage. 2 things, in fact. He's ensured that he's relentless. Just one slightly wide delivery, which too was within the tram line, so wasn't a problem. I think that was also a part of the mix-up, part of the plan. And he's working on his strengths here, not trying to do anything different.
Looking to play that shot again. Greg Hay likes to go over fine leg, up in the circle. Yeah, for Rushir Joshi, just 5 wickets last season, but he was used in an interesting way by the East Bay Blazers in the middle overs, and was morally there as sort of one to stop the bleeding whenever they were in a tough situation. His economy rate was 6.83. So he was able to just stem the flow of runs, and he's done that here so far against this Surf Riders team. Has to dismiss Greg Hay though if they want that wicket.
End of power play.
End of the power play. A good one for the Grizzlies after losing the toss. 29 for 2.
मिड विकेट और स्केयर चाहिए, मिड विकेट और स्केयर अभी.
At the end of the power play, 19 for Greg out of his 20 deliveries. One cheeky shot involved. Sri Krishna Antaraju and Harish Kakani back in the pavilion as Nikhil Datta joins Greg Hay. 29 for 2.
अभी यार जल्दी हो जी, अगर किधर है अंदर हो. बैट्समैन पावर प्ले इज डन. ओके.
Well, if you're now joining us, a good start to this power play by the Grizzlies. We had a bit of confusion in the last over. This is actually Sohan Bhatt. He's just wearing a Shiva Mishra jersey today, so it is Bhatt, the left arm spinner. Trusted with a new ball. Second over for him. Datta picks him up and just gets it past Zia Shazad. Or no, he doesn't. Athletic work on the long on boundary. Somehow managed to save that from going. He looked like he hit that really hard. Datta, good piece of work.
Nikhil Datta wanted to put pressure right away on Sohan. And that was in the slot as well for Nikhil. Did well by sticking his hand out there.
They're toying with us, Suhas. We thought it would definitely Shiva Mishra, but probably makes sense given that Mishra's only bowled one over in the whole tournament. It had to be Sohan Bhatt. The youngster impressed mightily yesterday. Played one single game for the East Bay Blazers last season. So already in his second game of minor league, 2022, presented by Sunoco, of course. And that's what having partners like Sunoco, like Dafa News, like Toyota on board helps. Bring out the local talent, bring out the young talent. Under 19 player Sohan Bhatt. This time aerial, but he will get it past. Cover, there is Mohit Nataraj patrolling that boundary, just keep it to 1. Greg has slowed down since that initial burst in the power play.
Ball count, ball count.
Sohan Bhatt is allowed to toss it up a little now because of the 2 wickets that have fallen. Nikhil Datta is also not going back into his shell. It's an interesting battle indeed. Wants to come back for the second, but only a single is on offer.
That will end the over with just a single. So Sohan Bhatt, another impressive 2 overs from him to start this game. End of 7, 34 for 2.
45 आजा. Malik तू भी. Oh, mid on.
San Diego Surf Riders, after winning the toss, decided to bat first. Greg Hayes out there, the captain, 20 of 22 at the moment. Nikhil Datta has joined him. He's looked good for his 5 of 6. Sri Krishna Anantaraju and Kakani were the 2 men to be dismissed. 4 bowlers to use so far. 3 of them, in fact 4 just has been introduced. Zia Mohammad, the leg spinner. Sohan Bhatt was
Zia
good in the
Shazad.
previous over.
Zia Shazad comes in to the attack. 9 wickets for him in this tournament. It's been all Shazad, all Ihsan Adil in terms of the wickets column for this Grizzlies team. And he'll be looking now, Sami Assam tends to bring him here between the 7th and 8th over. 8th today for Shazad. He hasn't been at the races with the bat in hand, but boy has he been mightily impressive with his leg spin option. 2 right-handers in, so he'll fancy his chances to add to that tally, get into double figures. Special addition alongside his friend Sami Assam, best of friends, the captain and vice-captain. Starts very wide as well. Zia Shazad, very wide approach to the crease. Good delivery to start. Picked up 25 wickets. 1 under the most in the Pacific Conference. That's what made this Grizzlies team so lethal. It's what helped them top the Western Conference in 2021. The fact that they were able to have that genuine wicket-taking pairing in the middle overs. Always important to have 2 reliable spinners.
His run-up is much Rashid Khan.
Imran Tahir as well, somebody that he's compared himself to because of the wide approach he takes to the crease. You see Imran Tahir, Tabraz Shamsi is another one. Runs very wide. Good delivery, corrects the line this time. Well, I mentioned this surface earlier, Suhas. This green grass will excite a lot of the seamers on display. We've already seen Isan Adil, Rusher Joshi cause some problems. You can see there, yes, it's a bit dry, but on that end of the ground, green grass, so you see a lot of seamers from that end. Just a single for here. Suhas, how does Greg Hay bat in this situation now? He's gotten a good start for his team, been there for 23 deliveries, but they're going to have to up the ante at some stage.
I think he's just waiting for Nikhil Datta to get settled a little bit. Bun over. Zia gets it right once again. He's also finding the right areas from which bounce is extracted a little bit more than the batter's expecting. So good. Zia, and of course he's pulling in the right channel too.
Wrong un from Zia Shazad, causing some problems off the surface. From that end, will be a handful to deal with. End of the 8th over, 39 for 2.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, तेरे घर लाने का।
The beautiful Morgan Hill, California, south of Silicon Valley. For this third weekend, you're joining the premium action on Willow TV on the MiLC network. Boy, has it been a treat to cover this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. Just the overall coverage to highlight some of the fantastic talent we have on display in this tournament. It's going to be a change in bowling for the Grizzlies. Abhinder Singh, who bowled well yesterday, comes into the attack, looking to make something happen. We saw so much spin being used on the first day of this weekend. Different track today. Aslam really backed his leg spinner alongside Shazad and Abhinder Singh to try and get something to go their way against the East Bay Blazers.
Abhinder Singh, someone who's working currently on a googly, unlike Zia Shehzad, who has one at his disposal anytime he wants. But Abhinder Singh's known for his quicker delivery.
Just past him. A couple of loose deliveries in that 4-over spell yesterday, but picked up a wicket, an important one, of Sanjay Krishnamurti, and also was able to just concede 22 runs. So be happy with that. It'll give him some confidence coming into today, especially with bowling into that drier end. Things will happen as the game goes on. Just squeezes it past point, and it will be runs. So much needed boundary for Nikhil Datta. He's an impressive player against spin.
Good signs for San Diego Surf Riders. Nikhil Datta gets it right this time around. Beautifully put towards the right of point.
Well, definitely the Sami Aslam and his Grizzlies want to get some tight overs here, and I think Datta will know that. He'll be cognizant of that and try to attack Abhinder Singh. Much better delivery, but the cut, it was just too short, just too wide. He's not going to miss it on that. A man that's been in this type of form. We mentioned the fact that he's averaging over 50, but other than that, striking at 130. So he's coming at a good click as well, Nikhil Datta. Flighted much more this time by Singh. Scampered in for the quick one.
That boundary would have provided some momentum to San Diego Surf Riders. Now they can look for the singles as well. Be interesting to see how this delivery is negotiated by Greg Hay. Would he be content in picking up a single, or would he go for a cheeky shot?
Full toss, comes down the track, Hay, and deposits it over mid-wicket. Huge maximum, and Greg Hay's been at the crease for a long time. Finally opening up, finally connecting.
Poor delivery. And put away by Greg Hay. Swivel. Much like baseball.
Well, it was all about the fact that he just knew it would be a full delivery, seeing how much Singh was able to flight that. So it ends what was a good over initially from Abhinder Singh. In the end, concedes 13 runs, 52 for 2.
At 13 runs being the highest so far. The San Diego Surf Riders accumulated in a single over. Greg Hay, 29 of 26 with a help of that 6. And Nikhil Datta started to open up as he moves on to a runner ball 14. Shri Krishna Anantaraju and Harish Kakani, the two men back in the pavilion. Vedant, Adnesh, Samson Bhatti, the youngster. A lot of batting to come.
Shahzad will continue. Goes 2 now and then tends to come back at the back end. Something that you don't see very often, especially for a leg spinner bowling in the last 5 overs. Seen Yuzvinder do it for the Rajasthan Royals this season in the IPL. So Shahzad, definitely a trusted option for Sami Aslam and his team.
Almost a replica of the previous delivery. Such accuracy, such pace. Is looking good today, Zia. The ball's coming out of the hand nicely. The Rongans are landing in the right areas. The channel we've talked about, middle and off.
This time down the track and over the ground by Nikhil Datta. Such a good player against spin, but that one probably the best that we've seen on display on this Sunday.
Third delivery in the same area. Too predictable as far as Nikhil's concerned. The deep. What a clean hit.
Well, Nikhil Datta is a man that's known for his batting exploits, especially against the slower bowlers. Zia Shahzad, expect him to go to those quicker deliveries that he's so good at. Very soon, that one pushed through a bit quicker is what he's done in the last 5 overs. That's helped him. Zia Shahzad with his leg break option, but you can clearly see an intent to score by the Surf Riders. This is a very good start to the innings. And what they'll have in the back of their minds was the fact that the Grizzlies were struggled yesterday with the bat in hand, were only able to muster 123 against the East Bay Blazers. So if they can get up to 140, 150 with their bowling, which showing signs, glimpses, they can. You never know. You just never know. It could be an upset brewing. Now they got over for the Surf Riders. End of 10, 58 for 2.
Did you calculate, Suyam?
It's just been too good. This 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. The Surf Riders, well, we've seen upsets to left, right, and center. The Surf Riders will be looking to employ one themselves.
The 9th over going for runs. They're getting some momentum here, San Diego Surf Riders, with 1-6 in the previous over. That's all they hit. They didn't look for the singles thereafter.
A 10 over down.
At the halfway stage, 58 for 2, San Diego Surf Riders. This partnership's brewing.
This time, well cut, but there is that fielder in the deep cover. One thing that I think the Surf Riders will be happy about over the 2 days. Yesterday at the 10 over mark against the Strikers, chasing that 218, they were 78 for 4. Today, slightly less runs, but more importantly, they've been able to put together 2 big partnerships and also keep the wickets to a minimum. Just 2 wickets down so far. This time again, happy to just settle for 1.
Nikhil Datta was searching for the second run just for a moment because of a little fumble, perhaps.
Partnership worth 32 between these two. Remember, they got a big partnership towards the end. Quicker delivery from Singh between Tondale and Zubair Murad, worth 58 runs yesterday. So that will give them confidence to know that if they can build a platform going into the last 5 overs, they have Zubair Murad, who hit 4 huge strikes yesterday. They have Adnish Tondale, who can also strike it. 35 from 20 balls for this team. 150 surely on the cards from here if they really bat well. Flighted this one outside the off stump. Should just be 1. Good start from Singh to the over.
After the previous game, I really feel Zubair has also thrown his hat in the ring for a promotion in the batting order.
Again, it's been such a responsible innings this from Greg Hay, the captain, leading from the front. He's taken the risk, played a couple risky shots, but they've been measured, especially against the spin. He's been happy to go down the ground, over the top, whenever the opportunity's presented itself. Clearly, Datta's got more license. I like this approach from the Surf Riders, a team that continues to grow from stride to stride in this tournament. End of 11, 64 for 2.
64 11 50 11 में 64 है I'm worried about you, man.
Yeah,
You're looking somewhere.
twice has happened.
Greg Hay moves on to 32 of 29. Took 3 singles in that over, and Nikhil Datta did the same. Every single ball was negotiated with a single. 23 of 23 for him. And Golden State Grizzlies have used 5 bowlers so far. Sohan Bhatt's been amongst the wickets. Abhinder Singh in his 2 has been a little expensive for his liking. And the youngster's been brought back. The wicket taker, Sohan Bhatt. How impressed were you with his performance yesterday, and how much of that confidence is being translated into his game today?
Quicker delivery, just another single. Mentioned yesterday though, in the absence of Vatsa Vaikela, who's been with this Grizzlies team, used this 2022 Toyota Minor League to really propel himself into the national team. Now in Zimbabwe for the T20 World Cup qualifiers. The USA actually in action tomorrow against Jersey. With a lot of these players who have been founded in this minor league taking part. You don't want to miss that one. What it would be for a USA team to get into a World Cup. But getting back to my previous point, Vaikela, who took 29 wickets, the most in the Pacific Conference for this Grizzlies team. Having him sort of left such a huge deficiency with the spinners in the middle overs. So the fact that they've got Sohan Bhatt from the Blazers this season, hoping to mold him into that role. Already 3 wickets in his first 2 games. He's been impressive.
He's absorbed the pressure so well, and the runs came at a time when this team needed it the most. It's not that they got a great start yesterday, Grizzlies. They needed somebody to perform with the bat in hand, and runs came towards the end from this youngster.
Slows it up. Good variance of pace. From the spinner wants to. Good running by Greg Hay. He's very quick. Not the tallest of men, so quick legs, short, quick legs from the captain. He's coming through and around now. Sohan Bhatt. Change of angle to Nikhil Datta. Trying to push it wide of Nikhil Datta. You have to reball that one, but you can see what he's clearly trying to do. You don't want to get too close. Given what Datta's been able to do, another good return with the bat in hand. He got a start yesterday, 17. The runs just continue for Datta. Have to dismiss him for the Grizzlies. Remember watching him in that lone victory against the Hurricanes. Got 49 and the Player of the Match award at the Prairie View Cricket Complex last weekend. He can really kick into that second and third gear if he continues.
Somebody sauntering in front of the side screen. The apology comes through right away.
Again, hasn't flighted many. Greg Hay, though, has been better to the task. Come back for another easy 2. So far, though, so good for the San Diego Surf Riders. End of 12 overs, 72 for 2.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
1 bounce, 1 bounce.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, तेरे घर लाने का।
If it's 4 balls, then it's at par.
Back at Morgan Hill, Sami Aslam's been happy to ring the changes in terms of his different options that he's had. We've seen 2 up front from Isan Adil. He'll come back into play in the last 5. Risha Joshi's got 1 remaining, but other than that, it's been all spin. Shahzad, Bhatt, Abhinder Singh. They need to get a wicket, need to get the captain Greg Hay as this partnership continues to develop. Now worth 45 between these two. Good delivery, spinning away from the right-hander, getting some bit of extra purchase.
Abhinder Singh is a tall man. The fact that he can get that extra bounce as well would be in the mind of Nikhil Datta.
This time full, way too full. The man at long on can only watch as it sails over his head. It's pure power and pure middle of the bat from Nikhil Datta.
This is a message from Nikhil Datta. He's missed his mark there. Abhinder Singh, Nikhil Datta doesn't miss out on opportunities of this kind. It's the second time he's gone straight down the ground and succeeded in hitting a six so big. Nikhil Datta is looking good for a big innings. Greg Hay at the other end will feel at ease too.
Got to pull the length back if you're Abhinder Singh. Flighting deliveries at that pace, Datta will be licking his lips to take that on every day of the week, especially the way he's gone in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. They've trusted him as the international option. Boy, has he come through for them. And I think why yesterday's game was so important for this Surf Riders team. Yes, it was a game they lost by 32 runs against the defending champions, but it sort of showed them the blueprint of how this batting lineup can perform. 58-run partnership showed that if they get one big partnership, they can really go on to score those big totals. 180 here. Boy, would that be a competitive score on this ground against the Grizzlies. Wants to. Big indecision, and it's going to be a wicket. Or no, it won't. Somehow, someway, Greg Hay survives. Really should have been sloppy work from the Golden State Grizzlies.
Greg Hay set out for a run while Nikhil Datta stayed put. He's literally run 2 runs all by himself.
Isan Adil was just a bit slow on that boundary, and then Abhinder Singh didn't pick it up cleanly. The throw was wide, and nothing good happening for the Grizzlies at the moment. That was the opportunity. That was a sniff. Begging. All of a sudden, they have got to start fresh now. These two in the middle. End of 13, 80 for 2.
San Diego Surf Riders, they get a move on. 9th over yielded them more than 12, and a couple of quiet overs with just singles. And then the 12th and 13th accumulating runs. 8 of them, 9 of them, now with the sixes and singles in the mix. It's looking good. The launch pad has been created.
Well, Bat will come back into the attack. Sohan Bat, the left-arm spinner for his final over. Another good showing from him. Just 15 runs conceded in his 3. Has to end well, though. End this spell well. Right here, looking, you can just sense sort of a upping of the ante, looking to take this into the next gear. And in the last over, really, the Grizzlies had a fantastic opportunity to take a wicket and break this partnership. Wide from around the wicket, Sohan Bat. That run out, Abhinder Singh was in operation. It looked to be so easy going for this pair, but they've ran well between the wickets. Greg Hay, as soon as he hit it, he wanted to. He touched, turned, saw where the ball was, and attacked, but almost gave up on it. Fortunate for him, a wide throw. He was able to get back.
Nikhil Datta, while he stayed put, Abhinder Singh couldn't collect the ball cleanly on the first instance, but there was a back flip. There was a backward flip of the ball, very nonchalantly towards the stumps. Had that hit, could have been a different story. So out.
Well, what a different story this has been, because the last time the Surf Riders faced up against this bowling attack, they were bundled out for just 81. All of a sudden, a much more positive approach. This weekend, they've gone past that 81 and only 2 wickets down, looking for a big finish. Flights this one, just able to get it past. Very straight from Greg Hay. And the feed at the boundary. He's quick, but not quick enough. And all of a sudden, you just feel a slight swing of the pendulum in the favor of the Surf Riders.
Attacking the youngster by dancing down the track. For a man who is exploring areas behind the wicket, here is a shot for the coach directly past the bowler.
Greg Hay again, looking, eyeing a half century for his team. Obviously, more importantly, is that his team is able to get up to 150. What's the competitive total Here, Suhas, tell me in the next over, end of the over. Score 89 for 2.
Samir, come on. That's unfair.
9 runs accumulated in the previous over. 14 overs gone, 89 for 2, and San Diego Surf Riders are looking good thanks to the partnership between Greg Hay and Nikhil Datta. Both of them have got a start. Nikhil Datta 36 or 34, while Greg Hay is getting a move on with his 43.
This is the first innings from Hay. His highest score of this season coming in is 44. Yes, he's on 43, but when you look at sort of how he's gone about this innings, it's been an authoritative one that you expect from your leader. We've seen captains in this tournament. You think about Unmuk Chan with that blistering century yesterday. Sami Aslam, the prize he puts on his wicket. The list goes on and on. So as a captain, Greg Hay, he's ensured that he spends time there and made sure that even if wickets go at the other end, he's going to be there to build that solid platform and solid foundation. Ruchir Joshi is going to come back into the attack for his final over.
Now Greg Hay, when the wicket fell and Nikhil Datta was still new to the crease, ensured that he could stay there and not target any bowler at that time or take undue risk. He allowed Nikhil Datta to get settled, and once he got going, Greg Hay, by that very idea, ensured that there was never a time where 2 new batters were at the crease, by making sure that he doesn't go for the big shots and fall spray. These are the little moments that he's learned, and he would have talked about to the other members of the team as well after back-to-back losses. Can this be a different game for San Diego Surf Riders? What a comeback after 2 early wickets.
Good delivery from Joshi to start. Interesting though that Sami Aslam obviously searching for that wicket to break this partnership. It's very interesting that he's gone back to Joshi at this stage. Just thought Adil maybe save him for that last 5, but he's going for the kill, Sami Aslam, knowing the importance of this win, especially the fact that the Surf Riders are a team in their group. After losing to the Blazers, to put them on 8 points, equal with the Grizzlies, you just can't afford to drop any more games. They lost their first one to the Mustangs. Another good delivery. He's been on that good length pretty much consistently throughout this innings. Ruchir Joshi, 2 is the call. They'll get there quite comfortably in the end. I just wonder, Suhas, how much of an impact in terms of the decision to bat first by Greg Hay was the fact that one of the 2 losses for the Grizzlies was chasing against the Mustangs, where they were only able to get up to 146. Just wonder how much that played on the mind.
Greg Hay, as much as he wants to win the games, he wants to win the tosses as well. It's the second time he's done so in all these games. He's quite content calling the right side.
Again.
And as a result, gets to bat first.
Coming back for 2. Great running from Greg Hay, the captain. Excellent from him. Could have been interesting, but the ball strikes Datta on the way through.
That wasn't deliberate. And that is what the umpire would be looking at, apart from the fact that Datta is in a little bit of pain. San Diego Surf Riders would believe he can continue to run the second ones as quickly as he did on this occasion. It's hit the calf muscle as well. It's not the right area to get hit because there's no protection. That's the camaraderie with which this game is played. Chandale giving that calf a rub. Nikhil.
67-run partnership between these 2. And again, second game in a row where they've been able to put together a 50-plus run partnership. And it's helped them look much more comfortable with the bat in hand. All of a sudden, situation much different. Last 5 overs, you expect them to score at the standard 10 runs per over with the power of Abhinay Reddy, with Adnish Tondale, Zubair Murad, all showing that they can strike those big maximums at this Morgan Hill venue.
Yesterday, the youngster Samson Bhatti did not come good. Returned cheaply, but today he would expect, if he gets an opportunity with the bat in hand, to do wonders. His team is in a better position as well. Iftikhar Ahmed needs to shift gears if he bats the way that he usually does. That is to take a little bit of time before he gets going. Would be a different script then. That is exactly why you would want to see Zubair.
Good delivery again, very straight. This time though from Datta. See Shazad always patrolling that long on boundary. Does long on to long on. And if you're a cricketer at home, you know the difficulties, especially in this heat, to run from one side of the field to the next constantly, then have to bowl 4 overs economically. So in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, Shazad hasn't been quite there with the bat, but his 9 wickets, his excellent fielding and his leadership has been why he's been relied on for the Grizzlies. Oh, there it is again. That ramp shot. Almost on one knee. Greg Hay, he's come out 3 times, and all 3 times he's got it to the boundary.
He's picking and choosing the right deliveries to do so. And every time Rucher's come, he's fancied this shot. There was once an occasion where Rucher, at the last moment, bowled a slower delivery and he was unable to connect. But that is exactly why it was a learning curve for both these involved in this shot. Rucher this time almost forgot that he's got this shot in the book. And Greg Hayes just reminding there, Greg Hay.
Just be 1. No! Wants 2, but stick with that. You can hear how loud he's calling. Well, that will end the over. The 100 comes up right on the brink of the 15th over. Just what the Surf Riders would have wanted. 8 wickets in hand, 100 for 2. I was asked if you had this shot. You had this shot again. This scoop from. Yeah. This 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship wouldn't be possible without our corporate partners. Having DAFA News for the first time this season as an official sponsor of the tournament. What a partnership this would be, though. Write them up. Nikhil Datta, Greg Hay. Want to see them on the cover of DAFA News this evening. 5 options used. Adil's got 2 crucial overs. That'll be something to watch. Abhinder Singh back into the attack for his final. Down the track, Greg Hay looking to take it on, and boy does he do that. Scintillating as he goes to his first half century of this tournament. It's been authoritative, not one full of responsibility.
No big celebrations. Everything subdued, just a fist bump and back to business. Greg Hay, he's in the zone right now. Targeting the earlier part of the bound at the right time. He's signaling that the assault has begun with 8 wickets in hand. San Diego Surf Riders.
This time sweeps. Much better option from Abhinder Singh. You want to make the batters hit into the square boundaries, which is sort of on that 65-yard length, that boundary. Between 55 to 60, so it's why Greg Hayes come down the track, look to get close. Nikhil Datta's taken on the straight boundaries a couple of times as well. It's good planning, good strategic execution from the San Diego Surf Riders. This time short goes straight up and should be an easy catch for the keeper. Shandell makes no mistake. So Abhinder Singh into something happen, but a huge partnership comes to an end.
Nikhil Datta trying to up the ante. Gets the top edge and knew it immediately that he's a corner. Completes the simplest of catches.
Well, Datta gone for 41. 107 now for 3. Disappointed with that, Nikhil Datta, but what another good performance from him with the bat in hand. He's been the leading run scorer for this San Diego Surf Riders team, now gone past the 200-run mark. This will be a very encouraging knock from this former international player that they brought in to help in that batting lineup this season after losing a couple big names in 2021. For the Grizzlies, help their cause, but they've got to close out the innings well. With this last 5 overs, they've got a lot of power to come. Samson Bhatti, it looks like, walking to the middle.
Out comes the youngster Samson Bhatti. Would be raring to go. Number 333 behind just suggests that here's a man who's someone who idolizes Chris Gayle. You talk to him, he talks about Chris Gale's shots as well, especially straight down the ground. Can he bring some out of today?
A couple of 333s in this tournament. Gary Graham as well, wearing that as his shirt number. So good to see the international influence, the West Indian influence in this tournament. Gary Graham will be in action later today for the Silicon Valley Strikers. What an important game for them as they look to take on the East Bay Blazers.
Samson Bhatti, known for big shots, known for swashbuckling batting.
Abhinder Singh back on the money. That wicket will do his confidence a world of good. Picked up one yesterday, but was slightly on the expensive side today. He's gone on over 9 runs and over. I think he's just flighted it a bit too much. And Greg Hayes and Nikhil Datta in that 80-run partnership were happy to go after him. Again, Greg Hayes goes down the ground. And again, he connects. This man is turning the game on and turning it in the favor of the San Diego Surf Riders.
Captain's not coming through. Once again in the slot, and just the extension of arms, and the ball carries itself over the boundary rope, which is made to look minuscule at the moment because Greg Hay is finding it from the middle of the bat. The ball's pinging off it.
Well, we saw this throughout from Greg Hay. If you look at his innings, now going up to 62. It's his third maximum he's hit, but he's been controlled in terms of his aggression. 4 boundaries, 3 of them through fine leg. And they're going to have to try to find the ball. He's hit it a long way back. Greg Hay, so good luck for that. We may need some reinforcements. Small straight boundaries. He has analysed this well and has taken it on well. Greg Hay, well, boy, was he magnificent at the top for his team. Winning the toss, batting first. He tells you exactly why. He's been mobile in his crease. He likes that option through fine legs. Saw it a couple of times. But against the spin, Abhinder Singh especially, anytime he was slow or full, he deposited it to all parts.
Just went through with a gears, targeted the straighter boundaries more often. Cheeky at times, especially against the youngster.
Goes full again, and it's the same result for Greg Hay. Back-to-back maximums. This is authoritative from the captain. Huge over comes to an end for the San Diego Surf Riders. 17 runs from it, 117 for 3.
One over ahead.
Yeah, Greg Hayes, 66 of 44, is the man who's holding this innings together for San Diego Surf Riders. He's been there from the beginning. He's going through the grind as well. Samson Bhatti is just walked out, yet to face a delivery.
Inside.
117 for 3.
Well, the 5 options used for Sami Aslam. He does have 2 important overs from Ihsan Adil. Zia Shahzad as well. You expect those 2 to close out the remaining 4. Abhinder Singh, that last over going for 17, has made his figures look very expensive. And here he is, Adil. No surprise to see him back into the attack. In desperate need of a wicket and in desperate need of Greg Hay specifically.
Come on, Captain, come on.
So, with his right arm seen, he's been a revelation in this tournament, coming with his international experience. First season for the Grizzlies, 14 wickets so far.
Would see a different length from him now that he's bowling at the end overs. And it's a good ploy to be bringing Ihsan Adil, especially when Samson Bhatti is facing, who's yet to face his first delivery. New man in, bring your best bowler. Try and pick up another wicket and get the momentum. Grizzlies captain doing it right.
Down the leg side, and Samson Bhatti, well, difficult for him in his very first delivery, especially to look to up the ante now against Ihsan Adil. I think expect more Greg Hay to do the bulk of the hitting, and they'll want to take apart those 2 Zia Shahzad overs, which we expect to come the leg spinner, but he's so crafty at bowling at this stage.
More of a warm-up delivery from Ihsan Adil. Now that engine's nicely warmed up, what is he going to produce? He's got this lovely Yorker as well. Perhaps from that angle, a delivery that angles away from the lefty.
This time in the offside, Samson Bhatti just able to squeeze it away. Misfield means that he can get back for 2. I did some research on Ihsan Adil coming into this weekend, looking at his sort of numbers in professional T20s. In the 68 T20s he's played, he averages 16 against left-handers. I found it so amazing obviously in comparison to the 22 against the right-handers, with that ball, the natural angle pushing the ball across the left-hander, he's able to bring some of those deliveries back. It's what makes him such a lethal option at all phases of the innings. 16 he averages against lefties. Samson Badi's got a handful to deal with.
It's
coming a long way across his stump. Samson Badi gets one down to fine leg. There's that man there in the deep though, so just be two. Drops his bat in the process.
Was quick enough, didn't need the extra yard that a bat can provide with a drag. Ehsan Adil's not getting it right. This is again a delivery that he'll not be proud of. These are easy runs. Greg Hay is quite content that Samson Badi is not wasting any time and is getting a move on right away. It's been helped by some ordinary bowling, to be very honest, and coming from Ehsan Adil has been very surprising for a man who's been right on the money most of the times.
But from here, they get it to 148, but I think Greg Hay, the longer he spends at the crease, they'll be thinking about 150 plus. They have it in the back of their minds that this Grizzlies team struggled with the bat in hand yesterday. Of course, that was batting first. So now chasing, they can take early wickets, completely different game. Around the wicket now. This time nicked and this time gone. You cannot keep this man, Ehsan Adil, away from wickets. 50 and again to a left-hander. Change of angle works.
With all those deliveries which were leaving the left-hander, this one he had to play at it. A little nibble and that's all he required. Chandel says thank you for the package. This is exactly what we wanted. That's the end of Bhatti. Bhatti departs for 4 against his name, 122 for 4.
So Ehsan Adil striking again, 15th wicket in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, bringing these international stars to the fore. Boy, has he been exciting to watch. Change of angle. So what you expect at this back end, you want to target the stumps, and as soon as he does it, it makes a difference on a good length. Samson Badi too close to cut. Easy catch for Karan Chandel. Gives him a send-off as well.
It's not something that you expect from an international speedster, a youngster who's trying to get a move on. Gets a little send-off, but that's what this game does as well at times.
Abhinay Reddy comes to the middle. 69 runs in 4 innings. Came into this team very late in this Surf Riders 2022 campaign. But so far, he's had a healthy strike rate over 130. And he's perfect for this situation. Likes to strike those huge maximums. Good luck to Ehsan Adil, though. Won't be easy. Over the wicket again. Starts well.
Reddy does the right thing. Doesn't waste any balls whatsoever. Gets it from the middle of the bat as well to do some confidence. To do some good to his confidence, and by putting himself at the non-strikers end, he brings Greg Hay on strike, and Greg Hay would be looking to target the straighter boundaries once again, unless it's shorter, because Greg Hay, one of his favorite strokes is to pull as well.
He's not a tall man, so I haven't seen him use that very much today, especially against a man with the bounce of a Ehsan Adil, because he's so tall, 6'4" for Adil. So using that green grass so well. Would much rather play on this surface today. Full toss, and he plays it on. The shot that helped him so much in this innings. And would you believe it? When you think of Ehsan Adil, one thing comes to mind. It's the word wickets.
Overs, 1 ball for the 7.
That's the beauty of watching the batter till the last moment. Minimum damage to the stumps. The furniture doesn't have to be reset completely, but maximum damage to San Diego Surf Riders, as it's the captain departing for a well-made 66. The man who was holding the innings together, 123 for 5.
Well, Greg Hay, the captain, superb knock from him. Highest score this season. He'd be disappointed, though, that he's not able to kick on to the last over. Look at this from Ehsan Adil. A back of the hand slower ball. And Greg Hay coming so far across. Hit 3 boundaries already through fine leg. plays it onto his stump, so that shot working to his detriment in the end. Adnish Tondale, boy, was this young man very impressive yesterday. 35 from just 20 deliveries. Walks out to the middle now in a similar situation for his team. Of this innings with momentum on their side.
Advantage for Grizzlies is the fact that the two new men at the crease. Adnish Tondale, of course, in good touch, but up against one of the best in the business with the ball in hand.
Good short delivery, just over the bat, gets away with it. Touch and go from Ihsan Adil, but 2 wickets come in the over. And could that be the one that just is the difference between 150 plus and restricting this team? It is again Ihsan Adil trying to go short. Dot delivery, end of 17, 123 for 5.
Yeah, 17 overs gone. Greg Hay was the last man to depart with 66 of 45. He was holding the innings so nicely and promising San Diego Surf Riders the psychological 150. And now that he's back in the pavilion, Devam Srivastava, Vedant Jain, Iftikhar Ahmed and Zubair Murad, the big hitter, they need to come good.
There's so much weight on the shoulders of Ihsan Adil, especially with the injury to Hamad Azam. They've been short a bowling option all season. Azam getting injured in the second game, in and out of the team, out today. It's meant that the others have had Zia Shazad, 2 overs remaining from him, just 11 runs conceded. This is where he's able to take so many wickets as a leg spinner in these last 5 overs. He bowled the 18th and 20th. Zia Shazad, but with that straight boundary, Abhinay Reddy will be sizing him up. Don't expect him to flight too many deliveries at this stage.
Reddy again, someone who's got the attacking instinct.
Good length, very good length. You don't want to be too full to any of these batters who showed you yesterday that they can clear the boundary with ease. Good start from Shazad on the money.
It'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting to know that little conversation that these two batters had in between overs. He's taking the leg stump guard here, Adnish Tondale. That's to allow a free flow of the bat by plonking the front foot away from the pitch of the ball. It's that phase of the innings.
Again, and that's what Zia Shazad does so well at this stage. We won't see him flight many deliveries overhead height against these batters, and anytime it was done that by Abhinder Singh or Greg Hay, Nikhil Datta, they show that they'll put it away. So he's been very flat, very fast, and very effective. Zad.
Would like to see a change in pace here from Zia.
Down the track this time, picks it up and away. Just over Mohit Nataraj at cow corner. He's able to hit another maximum. They've found the boundary pretty often in this innings, the Surf Riders.
Attacking the third delivery, getting it from the meat of the bat. And that's also a signal that it's going to be Reddy who's going to take this innings forward. Oh, that was 6 all the way. Terrific hitting. And it's just getting started. Can he provide the big finish that San Diego Surf Riders need?
This time full again, but it goes straight up in the air, no power on it, and the catch completed by his captain Sami Aslam. So Shazad strikes back like he so often does. Shazad, Adil, they've been the 2 with the wickets for the Grizzlies.
Oh, you've got to love this from Shahzad. A comeback. And that slight change in pace as well. He's not scared of pulling the length back too, just in case the batter dances down the track.
Not only have they been able to pull that pace back, but pulls the length back as well. 6 wicket goes down. Abhinay Reddy walking back for just 8. 1 maximum from him. He's such a meticulous player. Zia Shazad, the leg spinner, is the reason he's picked up now 10 wickets in double figures in the wickets column for his team. Zubair Murad, promotion for him today. 26 from 7 deliveries. 4 of them were maximums. Boy, did he light this Morgan Hill on fire. Some of the young kids in attendance. They asked for autographs. This man pumped it to all parts, picked up a wicket as well. Now has a different challenge though, facing Zia Shazad.
They've seen a lot of each other back in Pakistan. Zia Shehzad, he's a star in Lahore. Well, Murad, someone from Peshawar. Can play a lot of club cricket against each other.
Across the line. And again, a similar option that Abhinay Reddy took on. Tried to hit against the spin. And it worked to his detriment. So Tondale now, it's been a quiet start from him. First 3 deliveries, he's only conceded first 4. He's only been able to get up to 2 runs. End of a good over from Shehzad. 132 for 6.
Wickets for the Grizzlies at the right time. San Diego Surf Riders realize that the score is stagnating a bit. 132, the momentum with the Grizzlies now after the fall of that wicket. 2 more overs to go. That little slump that you see in the middle order after Nikhil Datta's 41 is what's caused that. One man needs to go big towards the end. Zubair Murad definitely has the power to do so. The 16th over was the one which provided a lot of momentum to San Diego Surf Riders. What's happened thereafter has been the fact that Grizzlies have picked up wickets at regular intervals.
Well, Ihsan Adil, double strike in his last over. 17th over. Started with 2 economical, both the first and the third. So often like he does too in that power play. Back into the attack now. And he'll be chomping at the bit to add to that column. Make it 3, make it 4, even 5. We've already seen him pick up a 5-wicket haul. 6 for 26 it was against the San Diego Surf Riders the last time these 2 teams met. Starts on that shorter length, and Tondale, you can see the intent, looking to cut. Such a fluent action, high release point, and strong wrist behind the ball. Makes him such a handful, regardless of the phase of the innings, whether it's in the power play with the newer ball or now, where he's able to do exactly what he did against Samson Bhatti, go around the wicket, angle the ball in, and attack the stumps. Sami Aslam, a smile on his face. He'll be happy with the way his team has gone about things, but they have to bat well. They want to pick up a win. Boy, do they desperately need a win. Full toss. Rare loose delivery from Ihsan Adil, but gets away with it. Just be a single.
This is the battle within a battle that I was looking forward to. Zubair, who has the license to go for the big shot. Someone who knows how big this ground is. What are his areas? Up against Ihsan Adil, one of the best when it comes to the late swinging delivery. So would it be the bold swing or the bat swing which will win over here? Wants to negate some of the swing from Ihsan as Zubair stands outside the crease.
This time, big swing and a miss. Karan Shandel, usually very tidy behind the stumps. Rare bite from him. Yes, showed his versatility, Ihsan Adil, at this stage. With that ball much older now, it's been thumped a few times. 6 maximums hit in the innings by the Surf Riders. He doesn't have that lacquer on the ball to rely on the swing, so he goes to that hard length right there. And boy, does he execute well in this final 5 overs.
A rare miss from Karan Shandel, who's otherwise been terrific behind the wicket. That doesn't cost much as the ball didn't spin away from him. Had it under control.
Goes pace off, just gets a piece of bat on it and able to get it over the point fielder. Comes back for 2 as well, has to hurry Tondale. I think he's short. Gets there in the end, says the umpire.
Yeah, had to drag the bat along, man. The long-handed man, rather. Very tall, Tondale. The first run was definitely on. It was Tondale's call. Had to go past Ihsan as well, perhaps half a yard. That's what he was suggesting. But he made it in the end. Not so, but the second run was on.
But he's got to ensure that he continues to look for wickets, Ihsan Adil. 2 deliveries remaining in this over. He's a man that takes a lot of pride in staying at the top of that 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship bowling rankings. He's at the top there now. 16 wickets for the seamer from Pakistan. Goes pace off again. A good bouncer.
Tondale is looking for the second run. This would be hallucination. Not even looking at the umpire as he has to continue the walk now. Oh, it was a good throw and at the right end. It's important for the keeper to be in the right position to collect it as well. Everything went right for the Grizzlies on that occasion. It's Tundale departing with a second run, which wasn't there.
In the second time, to his detriment, wanted to, got to in the first occasion in this over, but this time, nowhere quick enough. And unable to get there in the end. Easy work for Shandel. Looking to just kick things on. Andash Tondale, he's gone for 5. 136 for 7 now. San Diego Surf Riders. So it's not a wicket to his name, Isan Adil, but it is one for his team.
Yes, sir. That's
second run out in the innings.
That's the middle.
Not ideal.
He is Rajam over the wicket.
And Iftikhar Ahmed comes to the middle now. Very late for him. Saw him come much earlier yesterday, giving that number 5 for the San Diego Surf Riders. Today, though, batting at number 8, they've looked for that power, especially given that 80-run partnership they had between Nikhil Dutta and Greg Hay. Adil's got 2 deliveries to try and add one in the wickets column. They've come back really well here, the Golden State Grizzlies. At the 15th over, at 100 for 2. You thought if they can score at 10 runs and over, 150 easily with that platform. Just 36 runs, 37 runs conceded since. End of the over, 137 for 7.
आधी रेडी रहना है सामने दोनों रेडी रहना है दोनों ने बस स्टार्ट टाइम 11:27 करब आजी
Nikhil Datta's 41 was followed by Samson Bhatti's 4. Abhinay Reddy only 8. Adnesh Tundale walks back for 6, so that means Zubair Murad, who's walked out just now, has got to find the middle of the bat to provide the crescendo finish San Diego Surf Riders are looking for. At one stage with Greg Hay in the mix, looked like 160 was possible with runs, but right now it's up to Murad to provide that cushion of 150 even.
Zia Shazad bowling the final over of this innings. Straight up, this one, does it have the power to go the way? It doesn't. And Aslam again, carbon copy dismissal. The captain taking the catch. And a second for Zia Shazad. Murad, who hit 4 maximums yesterday. Not a single one today.
Murad had to go for the big shot and knew immediately that he did not connect on that occasion.
This was a wicket setup all because of good bowling, good pressure by the Grizzlies. Zubair Murad gone without scoring. 137 for 8 now. And I just mentioned that pressure that they built, the Grizzlies, in this last 5 overs. The last 3 overs coming into this 20th, 20 runs and 4 wickets taken. They've clawed their way back into this, the Golden State Grizzlies. And it's why Sami Aslam is able to have a smile on his face. It's been all because his 2 wicket-taking options, Zia Shazad, Isan Adil, they pulled their weight 2 apiece so far. Could be very more as well, much more. 28 wickets it is between the 2. It's been the other options that have been a problem for the Grizzlies. But boy, have these been special. Shazad back in the wickets yet again. Of course, in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, Shazad has been brilliant. Good length. Very hard for Iftikhar Ahmed to hit that over the top. In this last over, have to close out well, not only for the fact that you don't want to be chasing too much runs, but also the psychological advantage it gives you when you're able to restrict the team under 150 after being 100 after 15 overs.
Still looks like a good track to bat. With Greg Hayes trusting the bounce on a couple of occasions, it is still a good track to bat. 150 would be a very good total on this kind of a track to try and put up a fight.
First delivery from Vedant Jain. Direct hit could be gone. Doesn't pick up quite cleanly in the end. The wayward throw falling off balance for Zia Shazad.
Excellent athleticism there, excellent. It's one thing to get rid of the ball so quickly, quite another to recover and also get back into a position where you can see where exactly to throw.
So 3 deliveries it is remaining in this over. 1 wicket and 2 runs already only coming, and this could be the over, just the over that they needed. Golden State Grizzlies closing out this 20 overs. They've been under the pump, under pressure. But when they've relied on their strike bowlers, most Isan Adil, Shazad, both picking up 2. This final 5 overs, they've helped them get into this good position.
The good thinking there from Zia Shehzad. Saw the batter was moving away, still just fired it in. Didn't get bogged down by pressure here. He's done an excellent job in this final over.
This time much fuller. Jane picks it up, but nowhere close to the connection needed to carry it over the ropes. And it's that man again, Isan Adil, who takes the catch.
Has to swing it everything. Zia is making the most of the fact that the batters are coming after him. Another catch to dismiss the batter. This time it's Vedant.
Well, it was hitting with the spin. In the end, has to depart. So he's just gone for a mere 140. 9 and Ahmed. Only gonna be a single. So what a final over this has been from Zia Shehzad. 1 delivery remaining. Oh no, that's the end of the innings. So it will be 141 for the Surf Riders. You think is an improvement from where they've been in this tournament, but you have to wonder, will that be enough against the powerful Grizzlies lineup? Of course, it was set up by an 80-run partnership between Nikhil Datta and Greg Hay, the captain, who was the top scorer in the innings, but we'll have to do well if they are to defend this. Look at the batting card. Well, Greg Hay started the flow at the top of the order. 66 from 45. He was a standout. Well supported by their leading run scorer, Nikhil Datta, with 41. But no one else in the low order, a contrast from yesterday, able to get a start. That's why they lost their way towards the end.
Sami Aslam and co have done an excellent job with the ball in hand. The Golden State Grizzlies ensuring that they took wickets at the right time. Ehsan Adil picked up 2 towards the end, and Zia Mohammad Shehzad picking up all his 3 wickets at the right time, not letting the San Diego Surf Riders go for the big shots and get any momentum whatsoever. At one stage it looked like 160. Now it's 141, and Golden State Grizzlies would be mighty proud of that effort with the ball.
Well, a game of 2 halves. Let's see how it unfolded in that first innings for the Surf Riders. Well, it was all about a good start from the openers. They had to get underway against an attacking Grizzlies opening bowlers. Rusha Joshi was good as he came back. That was a mishap in terms of the running, and Sri Krishna Anantaraju had to depart. Then Greg Hay started a bit nervy. A couple edges, one that hit the bottom of the bat. But as he got into the innings, really developed well in stride. Greg Hay, the captain, took on the bowling so well. That was the wicket of Harsh Kakani, looking to go back. The stump, anytime they were short, Greg Hay was happy to play the cut square of the wicket. Took on that full straight boundary though so many times in this innings, especially against Aviender Singh, who was very expensive. That one through cow corner. This was the partnership though that you thought could just take them to that 150 mark. 80 runs between Datta and Greg Hay. Another full delivery from Singh, another maximum from Datta. Tap the spin. Greg Hay, who had controlled aggression in that first innings. Just one beating the long off fielder. He was truly special in his highest score of the innings. Rusha Joshi was good, but Greg Hay was better that occasion. Like to play that ramp. Anytime though, these spinners got too full. Hayes, the small man, showed his mighty power. Went over long off, went over long on. Because after, well, this would be the fall of his wicket. Top edge, easy catch for Karan Chandel. But he had done his part. Nikhil Datta going into the final 5. Greg Hay continued right where they left off with another maximum. And then one into the onside as well. Very full delivery from Abinder Singh. Isan Adil, the passage of play that changed it all. Samson Bhatti, short stay came to an end. Adil changing his angle. That was a crucial wicket of Hay, the captain. Pace off, back of the hand sort of ball. And unfortunately for Hay, playing it onto his stumps. And since then, the Lord are not being able to get much. A couple big strikes from Anish Tondil. Until Abhinay Reddy had to depart. Then came Tondil into the middle. Wanted 2, was just a bit slow to turn. And was always going to be short. easy run out in the end. Isan Adil being part of another wicket for his team. Zia Shazadov goes his final 2 overs in the final 5 and picks up 3 wickets. Sami Aslam took 2 catches towards the end. Brilliant, trying to hit against the spin. Beta Jane, easy catch for Isan Adil. This is why Zia Shazad is so trusted at this stage. They're not picking up wickets. Boy, was it a special close to the innings for the Grizzlies. So there you have it, the Grizzlies, after losing yesterday in an important win, are going to need to get to 142 if they are to go to 5 wins in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back with the coverage in a couple minutes' time.
You're watching the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco. You're watching the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco.
What a treat it's been in this first innings for the San Diego Surfriders up against the Golden State Grizzlies. Live from Morgan Hill, California in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. The Surfriders getting off to a good start, but just losing their way in the last 5 overs. Getting up to 141, which could be competitive given the struggles we've seen from the Grizzlies with the bat in hand.
Five bowlers used by Golden State Grizzlies. Zia Mohammad Shehzad, how good was it towards the end? Tossing it up and also at the same time intermittently going with the quicker one. 3 wickets for him. And Sohan Bhatt and Abhyender Singh are also amongst the wickets. Even though Abhyender, for his liking, would have been very expensive.
Well, earlier, as you can see, the San Diego Surfriders getting ready to come out in the field, but they were blessed, you can say, by their captain in his first 50 of this season. His highest score, 66 from 45. What a knock it was from Greg Hay, the captain. Started a bit nervy, but once he found the middle, there was no looking back.
Yes, Picton chose the right areas to score runs as well. The full tossers didn't deserve to remain on the ground. Charged down the wicket, especially to the leg spinner Abhyender. Troubled him a lot with a similar shot. As the straighter boundaries, he owned them.
But he hit it to all parts. 3 maximums. A couple of those boundaries came through fine leg. But anytime the spinners got too full, he was happy to just put them away. It'll be something that the Grizzlies would have seen. That was his fall. The wicket being dismissed by Ihsan Adil. So we're just about ready to get underway here in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. The Grizzlies, they need 142 for victory. Just over 7 runs and over. And you'll think at the batting lineup that has fired pretty often in this tournament, in those 4 wins that they picked up, they fancy their chances to chase this down. Divam Shrivastava will have the new ball in hand. Bowling to Sami Aslam, the captain, the left-hander.
Divam Shrivastava has got the game time for sure. Be amongst more wickets. He has to be amongst more wickets, especially early on. It's an interesting decision from Greg Hay to start with spin.
Well, I like the decision from Greg Hay. I'll tell you why. This young man was absolutely special against similar opposition. In the very first over, picked up the wicket of Sami Aslam at Woodley Park on weekend number 1. So even though he didn't open the bowling yesterday, great captaincy by Hay, remembering what worked for his team early on. Shrivastava knows he can get the wicket of Sami Aslam. He's done it once before. Can he repeat? Tall, young, much more impressive with that newer ball, I think, because of some drift he's able to generate. First delivery, here we go. Oh, how is that? How is that? They're very confident, and would you believe it? 2 and 2. Shrivastava gets his man again. The very first delivery the youngster strikes, and it's the captain. He's in disbelief.
Sami Aslam, well, he's walking back on his own. There's something else which is pushing him towards the pavilion at the moment. He's replaying that 10,000 times in his mind. Gets it straight enough. The back leg as well. No hesitation from the umpire.
What a plan it was. Greg Hay yesterday didn't start with the youngster, but the fact that Shrivastava dismissed Sami Aslam once before, very first, Aslam gone, none for one. The Grizzlies in deep trouble early. Truly a fantastic start. You didn't expect that with the very first delivery, but the Surfriders were confident. I think good decision in the end. It's very far in his crease. And what about Junaid, brought into the team today, comes in at number 3, a place where we've seen Zia Shehzad bat in all the first 5 games of this tournament. So Junaid, who got 49, just played the 1 game so far in this 2022 season, comes to the middle in an important run chase.
Absolutely. 49 or 34, and a quick fire 49 is what has been propelling his position at number 3. Malik Junaid, he opened the batting last time for the Grizzlies, I heard. Loves to play with a straighter bat. He's got to do some mending work. Malik Junaid against Devam. It's been terrific captaincy. Throwing it to the youngster then. There were some eyebrows raised. Why not pace with the pitch assisting the pacers a little bit? But the spinner's done this job. First delivery right on the money.
110-run partnership for Junaid and Shiva Mishra. Across his stumps. This is what he will do, Malik Junaid. He will attack regardless in this power play. He did it in that 110-run partnership with Mishra. A real construction for the Grizzlies. But now, with the wicket of Sami Aslam, we mentioned how much this team depends on him, the captain. 500 runs in 2021, but he's got to go walking back. Karan Chandel on strike, the leading run scorer for the tournament. This was the wicket again. Threw on around the wicket early. Just went straight on. And back into the left-hander. Probably expected to maybe spin away. Sami Aslam had no clue.
Sami Aslam also expected it to bounce a little bit more. He was as bewildered by the pitch as much as the decision from the umpire, but that looks straight. A good boost in confidence for the youngster. Now one, he's got away.
Well, he's going to have a different challenge bowling to Chandel. Man who was able to blast 40 from just 27 deliveries. He's been so superb in this tournament, Karan Chandel. With that single, he goes to 200 runs. But he's averaged over 30 and struck at 140. You can't expect much more from him. It's been a huge comeback season for him after a slow 2021.
Looks like Karan Chandel is going to be the ticking time bomb as far as San Diego Surf Riders are concerned. Now Greg Hay suggesting to the youngster, Devam, try and make Malik play straight down the ground.
This time, it goes over the top. Malik Junaid won't stick around. You have to get it right. First boundary for the Grizzlies. That will take some of the pressure off.
Well, in the first 6 overs, Malik Junaid has been sent with a proper script to go for the big shots. Merciless. Saw that it's in his slot and didn't deserve to stay in the ground.
Well, it was only 2 weeks ago where this exact partnership, the one that hurt them, Malik Junaid in his only game, I thought it was kind of hard done by. 49 from 34 and then dropped for the rest of the tournament because of Hamad Azam, obviously. But today, in the absence of Azam, they've gone back to Junaid. So far, so good. Couple out the middle of the bat. He has to kick on, though. He can take down a few overs in this power play will help in terms of that required run rate. Down the leg side this time, very straight. There is that man at mid-wicket. He'll only have to be a fetcher for that, and it's the power of Junaid on display again.
Once again, he targets the leg side and succeeds. Accumulating a lot of runs in this over. The first over did start with a wicket. But Golden State Grizzlies have decided to put that behind and not think about it anymore.
Definitely will help your team when you have a player who can come in and bat like this. You saw it yesterday from Mark Dayal. They lost the early wicket, Saideep Ganesh. Dayal came in and played his shots, got to 30, and it took so much pressure off of them because they started the run chase well. You need over 7 runs and over. Already 10 from this one, so this will help their cause throwing around. Again, this one straight up in the air, off the top edge, but just goes over Sri Krishna Anantaraju. Fortune for Malik Junaid. That could have easily been the fall of the second wicket. What an eventful first over it's been. 11 for 1 after the first.
An over that started with a wicket and ended with almost another one in between. 11 scored. Karan Chandel's just 1 of 1. Malik Junaid's been the one taking the attack to the opposition. 10 of 4. And that 10 includes lovely boundaries as well. Abhinder Singh, Mohit Natraj, Shivam Mishra, Aditya Srinivas, a lot of batting to come. Zia Mohammad Shehzad, of course, can be the number 3, number 4.
And of course, this Grizzlies team in desperate need of a win. Losing that first game of this tournament against the Mustangs. First loss it was for them. Then losing yesterday to the East Bay Blazers. Malik Junaid have to do the bulk of the scoring. Zubair Murad, he's been good since he's been introduced into the lineup for the Surf Riders. not only with the ball, but he hit 4 maximums yesterday. Has the ability to swing the ball early on. Interested to see if he can get that lateral movement again today.
Umpire, give me a middle stick, please.
Greg Hay ensuring that Zubair Murad gets the feel that he wants. So often we've seen the bowler having a say, especially with the third man, how fine he wants him or how square he wants him. Malik Junaid's done well, 10 of 4 at the moment.
Yeah. This time comes a long way across Murad. Just was that sliding down the leg side. Zubair Murad asking the question early. You can see how far across Malik Junaid is coming. I signaled. But this was the moment. What a start it was for the Surf Riders. You speak about momentum. They were a bit slow to close the innings. On the back foot, always going to be in trouble. Sami Aslam, the only question was it outside the off stump? But it looked very adjacent from there. Easy decision in the end for the umpire. Devan Srivastava, given the new ball today. Boy, did he do well. So Karan Shandell will face the seamer for the first time. Yesterday, Srivastava was brought in the 8th over. Proactive captaincy from Greg Hay. Shandell, he likes this opposition. 71 against this team. 71 from 47 deliveries. Good delivery, big swing across the line for Shandell. It's why that step is in place. And if you're listening to through the stump mics, you can hear how animated the Surf Riders are. So it helps when you take an early wicket inside the power play.
Absolutely, why wouldn't they be? This one taking the angle away from the left-hander. He's got a slip in place. He wants to bring the slip into play. Zubair Murad. He's already survived an LBW shout.
Again, pushing the ball across.
Right.
Shandell not able to time it well. To that middle fielder.
It's a good start for Zubair Murad rather. Started off with an LBW shout and now testing the left-hander too.
It has been in the wickets. 5 it is in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. The left-handed Shandell, though, you'd be looking to take him down inside this power play. Goes down the ground, but hasn't really timed it. Mid-on in place, does well to cut it off. Greg Hay, very safe fielder at that mid-on position. Shandell, though, able to get the important 1 run. Brings Malik Junaid on strike. This will be an interesting battle.
And this is why it'll be an interesting battle. First delivery. Coming in.
Work on getting that look for you, but so at the moment, Malik Junaid, he's already hit 2 boundaries. It's raced to 10. And he'll be lucky now. Again, hanging that ball into Junaid. Likes to come a long way across because it just allows him to get in line with the ball. Helps to position it anywhere he wants, just place it. That's why he likes play. Just the 1 outing for him in this tournament so far against this opposition.
What's been good to see is for the Grizzlies, Malik Junaid's getting it from the middle of the bat. His Karan Shandell is coming off a great innings, but it's not coming off the bat nicely in this innings so far. He's yet to find the middle. Junaid on strike though.
Fahad has seen enough. Went really powerfully down the ground, but luckily for the Surf Riders, it cannons into the stumps. Ends a really good over for Murad and the Surf Riders, just 1 from it. 13 for 1.
My son is so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your true self. The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
What's up, Dad?
Hi, Sammy.
What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Sir, leg, please.
Yeah, that's your leg.
Back at Morgan Hill.
That's your mid.
In the sun. Well, Karan Shandell has got an important role. It's going to be Seaman to the attack for the first time. Harsh Kakani, who opened the bowling yesterday, comes first change today. And I think it's because of the attack that Junaid has taken to the youngster Devam Srivastava. So been taken 11 off the first over. Now Kakani comes into the attack with his seam up option.
Harish Kakani, the problem that he had yesterday was he could only bowl from one end. He wasn't leaking runs, but the other bowlers were. He needs support today.
The trap straight away, Karan Shandell. Something I found really interesting with this team, this Grizzlies team, the opening partnerships, when they've gone well, they've been able to get big totals, but they've been so up and down. 2, 14, 7, and 2. And in the losses, the opening pairings, something to note, 2 and 7 yesterday. So Karan Shandell, Sami Aslam, when they haven't been able to get off to a good start in the power play, the team has struggled already today. No runs on the board between the two. This time picks it up, finally gets one off the middle of the bat. Shandell holds the pose for Dafa News as well. Goes all the way for a maximum. This man has been in impeccable touch in this 2022 minor league.
Just getting into that hot form once again. A stand and deliver. It's the first 6 overs. Midon will only watch it sail. Harish Kakani misses his mark. That's another problem when you're bowling to someone like Karan Shandell. You give him minimum room, he will work with it. And the fact that he had enough room to hit it straight and not swivel much.
I don't think it was so much the length. I'm more thinking the problem was the length, especially on this surface. Kakani doesn't have that extra pace. It just sat up and allowed Shandell to through the line of the ball. Easy maximum for him. That could be the one he needed to kickstart his innings. Pushes this one wide. Bit unlucky because you can see Shandell trying to create room for himself. So he had to pushed it wide. Smart bowling from Kakani, just the execution could be slightly better.
Wanted to utilize the angle as well. The intention was there, but the execution was wrong. Beyond the tram lines, there was no chance that Kakani could have... There was no chance that the batter could have got to it. Shandell.
Again wide in the air, but straight through. And it will be another boundary for Karan Shandell. This one even better.
You want to go round?
This was pure elegance from the left-hander. The umpire had to move away and then watch it travel for 4. Kakani, again, whatever room that he has, he's able to work with it. Karan Shandell's got lovely wrists as well. So the power game being posed with the deft touch as well. This is turning out to be a good innings for Karan Shandell, who took a couple of deliveries to get going this time round.
Well, you remember this opposition well. 71 from 47 it was against his team. His highest score in this 2022 minor league tournament, presented by Sunoco, of course. And so far, similar carnage from the left-hander. Malik Junaid at the other end. This partnership has been so fruitful for them when they've been together at the crease. Just a second game for Junaid. This time around, and this time it works. He has found the change of the angle for Harish Kakani, and listen to what it means to him. What a big wicket that is for the San Diego Surf Riders.
Kakani rose as he makes one of the finest comebacks after being hit away for 6 and 4. Just that outside edge, and it doesn't make a mistake. It wasn't an easy collect with the ball dipping on him, but had the hands in the right position and a much needed wicket. It's Karan Shandell who departs for 12.
Skip. Captain, please.
A disappointment for Shandell after a good start. 24 for 2 now. The Grizzlies. It will mean Shiva Mishra walks into the middle. Shiva Mishra comes in 345 runs, a lot of experience for this. Played in almost every game last season for the Grizzlies. What was so good about this delivery? He changed the angle, Kakani. Around the wicket, you would think he's coming into the right-hander, but again pushes it wide. Just tricks Karan Shandel and gets his man. Excellent stuff from not only Kakani, but our cameraman. Good low catch as well by Iftikhar Ahmed. So Harish Kakani opening the bowling yesterday. In with that new ball again, showing you why he's been trusted. And all of a sudden the Grizzlies, flashbacks from that 123 all-out performance yesterday against the Blazers will be just ringing through their minds.
Yes, sir.
Mishra has got to save the day for his Grizzlies team.
Extremely experienced Harish Kakani.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Because his services with the ball in hand would mean a lot to San Diego Surf Riders. Every time he sees even a bit of grass on the top, he's reminded of his county days. Trying to hit those patches, trying to generate some skid. Now working with the angle too.
Again, pushing it wide is why he has that slip in place. Something I find so interesting after 6 games of Zia Shahzad batting at number 3 for this Grizzlies team. Today sent down the order, probably to look to maybe relieve some of that pressure off of him. Extend some of the depth. Maybe just getting away with a wide one there, Kakani. But Zia Shahzad averaged less than 10 in the first 6 innings, just 59 runs. Today a change in approach, a change in role for him.
I think it is to keep the righty-lefty combination going.
Well, of course, he could have come in at number 3. Shandel is a left-hander, so you would have still been able to maintain that. But they look to counter-attack with Malik Junaid. End of the over, 25 for 2.
Three overs gone, 25 for 2. Sami Aslam went first ball back in the hut. Karan Shandel looked good for his 12 actually. Just when he was getting a move on, gets that outside edge and a good catch by Iftikhar Ahmed to send him back to the pavilion. Malik Junaid's out there, 10 of 7, and Shivam Mishra's just joined him.
He's coming over to you. Thank you.
Boy, is this a familiar story though for the Golden State Grizzlies. Remember the last time these two teams met? They would have batted first. The Grizzlies got it to 179 for 5, but it wasn't all sweet and dandy because they were 20 for 3 after the first 5 overs. Then the repair job came through Karan Shandel and Malik Junaid. Shandel already been dismissed. Could it be Mishra and Junaid? They still have a lot of batting to come. Mohit Nataraj, Zia Shahzad, but of course no Hamad Azam in today. Minus average over 50 with the bat. This time in the air, but so fortunate. It's just lofted over point. One hand came off the bat. Big let off for the Grizzlies. They'll get into the boundary for 4.
No room for him, boy. No room for him.
It's one of those moments when you know the field,
Let's get this
and at the last moment you're checking your shot
boy.
too. Shivam Mishra gets it right for 4.
They're going to need one big partnership. I think that's where they went wrong yesterday against the Blazers. Just never were able to develop any rhythm in the innings. Bundled out for 123, their lowest total of the tournament. The second loss, the Golden State Grizzlies. And you want to stay in the reckoning with the other teams in the Western Conference. 3 teams. The Thunderbolts, the Grizzlies, and the East Bay Blazers have to win this game. He's down outside the off stump.
Is it time that Iftikhar takes a couple of steps forward? Second, third time he's collecting it so low. He's changed his place. That would also mean that the slip would also draw forward a little. He's made a mark as well with his right foot there. Just know where exactly to stand.
This time, another flash. I find this angle interesting from Murad. The fact that he's choose to come around the wicket. Very hard to get that slip in play. You're bowling in to Shiva Mishra, the left-hander, but just trying to get him to flash some more. He likes playing outside the off stump. I mentioned the importance of this game for the Grizzlies because if you look at their schedule and what's coming up, next weekend they got the Silicon Valley Strikers, a team that's the only unbeaten team in this tournament. Cuts this one powerfully, but well cut off at point. Saves a certain boundary. Not only do they have the strikers, but then 2 weekends from there, the Seattle Thunderbolts coming up twice for the Grizzlies. You have to win the games against the teams at the lower half of the table.
Oh, lost the ball a little bit, but he knew he'd done his job. Off the ricochet, the ball can go in any direction. Still well done. Murad done well to have started with a boundary, and then this could come back to Junaid, a different challenge. Junaid is someone who'll apply a lot more power behind the shots. Can he clobber one straight down the ground?
Goes again, this time though in the offside. And just showing sort of his skill, Malik Junaid. Able to get it up and over and all the way from. This is good striking, good ball striking and connection from Malik Junaid.
Oh, not every batter can do this. Gets the elevation, puts so much power behind it too. The ball sails away for 6. It's unbelievable how he generates that much of elevation on a regular basis. Mini meeting has been called. San Diego Surf Riders, they need to ensure that this partnership is broken as quickly as possible. Junaid moves on to 16 with that 6 as Grizzlies accumulate 11 in this over with a ball to go.
But what the Malik Junaid has done so well, he's come a long way across his off stump every single delivery. He was just sort of starved of the strike since that first over where he struck Devam Srivastava to all parts, actually struck him out of the attack. We just watched a lot from the non-striker's end, but showing he can just hit right where he left off. Boy, was that a good strike. How does he respond though, Zubair Murad? Has to be much fuller, you think. Slip goes out. Goes again this time, and again it will be the same result. Scintillating striking from Junaid.
This is power hitting personified. Every time he's thrown his bat, he's gone with full-heartedness. Oh, that's got enough bat percentage and a bat bounce as well to top it off. No chance for the fielder. That'll crattle the boundary rope. He's one of the most powerful strikers in 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. 40 for 2 out of 4.
Captain, you are 1 over.
1, 2, 3.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Time out for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Well, Harish Kakani, who was able to take that crucial wicket of Karan Shandal, the man has scored over 200 runs for this Grizzlies team. What a big wicket that was to get, especially after his performance against the Surf Riders, where he got 71 in the last meeting. Around the wicket, Kakani.
White ball.
Have to reboard that one. Similar to the angle, similar to the one which he got the wicket of Karan Shandal. Just getting him to fend that one outside the off stump. It's been a plan that they've tried to work. The Surf Riders getting them to play square into those bigger square boundaries.
Something that San Diego Surf Riders would also have to improve, and very quickly do so, is the fact that they have to curb the extras.
Again, on that length. This time, though, better to the task is Mishra. That is stylish from the man who's coming at number 4. And all of a sudden, momentum swinging back in the favor of the Grizzlies.
Doing just enough and not trying to hit it hard. Doesn't get carried away by what the righty is up to. Just showing the face of the bat, and the ball does the rest on such a good outfield. Two contrasting batters we have. Mishra playing with soft hands, Junaid clobbering the ball.
Well, that's the problem you face as a seamer in this first power play. Doesn't have the pace, Kakani, so able to just maneuver the ball in the gap. Mishra, knowing that he's only got 2 fielders out, the deep cover and the third on the boundary. This time, threads that wide line, and the umpire, well, he deems it okay. So they have continuously gone back to that plan. This is a good start by the Golden State Grizzlies. Even though they've lost early wickets, It's less than 100 needed. They're going at over 10 runs and over. And what it's done has brought that asking rate a lot closer to a run a ball. So still will feel like they're in good stead to win this game. And it's been because of Malik Junaid. Running at the non-strikers end. This time cut again. The man is at the boundary, but a slight misfield and it gets into the boundary. You cannot afford that when your opposition has got to start like this.
You got to feel for Harish Kakani. He put a man there for exactly this shot, and it wasn't much of torque as well. Couldn't get his body behind this time around. Got into a very difficult position. The ball races away for 4 after it hits him.
When you think about the Toyota Tundra, the power, that's what it's been in this partnership. Mishra's found the boundary twice in this over. Junaid, he struck it to all parts so far. This time finding, opening the face, Shiva Mishra, and getting another one. It's 3 boundaries in the over. Deep trouble, the Surf Riders.
Shiva Mishra being as delicate as possible to this leather ball. And still getting the result that he wants. All these 3 boundaries, 2 of them have been about placement. One of them has been about the reflex. It's one of his favorite strokes, hence played it for a single and was very surprised to receive a boundary.
Of course, fueling this tournament, Sunoco, fantastic to have them on board. And when they see shots like that from Shiva Mishra, they'll feel very good about this partnership. Slip in place. This time much straighter. He's brought a slip in place, almost reactive, Greg Hay. Mishra started very well. He's not going to play that same shot. And it also opens up another gap. So 1 delivery remaining in the over. It's been an expensive one. Already conceded 14 runs. They do have a delivery remaining.
Yeah, that's your leg. Bowling over. Down. Alright, you same, right?
Power plays have been a struggle for this Grizzlies team.
He's
But
bowling
they'll be
now,
happy with the way
wicket.
this one has started, especially just needing to score at 7 runs and over, just chasing a 142. He's working with here, Harish Kakani. Just the 1 man sent back now at deep mid-wicket. Now has that fine leg fielder in place as well for the powerful Junaid. Was across the line, huge swing. Could have easily cannon into this. Very good over for the Grizzlies, comes to an end. End of 5, still 1 over remaining in this power play, 54 for 2.
Keep going, boys. Keep going, boys.
Come on, boys. Come on, boys.
The Grizzlies finding momentum in Harish Kakani's over as 3 boundaries are collected. They've been collected. Malik Junaid, 20 of 10. Shiva Mishra, very delicate in his approach, but very effective.
Greg here will have an interesting choice to make. He does have some other bowling options to go to. Adnish Tondale is one. Haven't seen him with the ball as yet. We'll expect to see him very soon. Vedant Jain with his leg spin. He's going back to Zubair Murad for his 3rd over. Interesting, very interesting, but he has to look for wickets, especially given the start that the Grizzlies have got. Just less than 6 runs and over now needed for victory. They'll bat themselves from here with 8 wickets in hand, knowing the batting that they have to come. 10.8 current run rate after losing 2 wickets inside the first 3 overs. Tells you about the player Malik Junaid is. Doesn't mind what's happening around him. Just plays his own game. He's been powerful to start this innings. Murad again bowling around the wicket. And again trying to push it wide. Good result for the Surf Riders, getting Mishra off strike.
The hard way keeper.
Coming over to you.
Thanks.
Zubair Murad. It's an interesting decision to bowl the 3rd over as well from Zubair Murad inside the power play. He was very effective and he has more cushion. The batters are trying to come after him as well. He's got a good slower delivery which can attract miscued shots. Captain here trusts Murad to provide the breakthrough. With Junaid going at it with hard hands, will this play?
Big swing and a miss. He likes to go into the onside, into that bigger side he's looking to take on, but no field is big enough for the power of Malik Junaid. What I want to see from him, though, we've already seen him power the ball to all parts. He's got off to a good start, 20 from his first 11. Can he sort of show some maturity, responsibility?
The slower delivery coming into play. But do you feel it fine with the length?
Excellent delivery from Murad. This one comes back, almost hitting that back foot. I was just making the point, Malik Junaid, can he sort of show that responsibility to actually back through, build a partnership with Mishra? You cannot keep losing wickets if you are the Grizzlies.
Now that he's got a start, that should be his second challenge again. Rolling his fingers over this one, not bouncing as much as well if the car gets to it quickly. It's important that the dot balls are strung together. Just one run of the first 3 balls.
Here he is again, looking to go after it. Another pace-off delivery, so Murad, this is why he's been brought in for this third over. Looking to take wickets, Greg, here. You have to give him credit for being proactive as a captain.
Murad doing the right thing here, keeping it away from Junaid's arc as well. Junaid getting a little itchy. And for a man who personifies power, he wants to go at it with hard hands as much as possible. Would be better served if he could just wait a little bit. This little phase.
Much better, much more responsible shot. It's a good, another good delivery from Zubair Murad. But what's been important has been an improved shot selection. Is what caused the peril of this Grizzlies team yesterday, where they were bundled out for that 123. But it's been so much better this today in terms of being more responsible. Obviously, it helps that they know what they're chasing, know how to pace their innings. Good start by them, but they have to kick on. Wickets from here, you lose 2 all of a sudden. You're in trouble. Full toss. He gets away with it, but he does position it well. Work to be done on the boundary. Keeps it just 2, Harsh Kakani.
It's a terrific over indeed. Just 3 runs of it. Zubair Murad keeps it very tight. 57 for 2. The power play restrictions of the first one would be lifted. The Golden State Grizzlies, 57 for 2 in 6 overs. That's a route they've taken to 57. Sami Aslam went first ball. Back to the heart. Karan Chandel got a start but didn't convert. Malik Junaid's out there. He's battling it out. And there's a little phase where the ball's not coming onto the bat at all. Shiva Mishra, 20 of 12 and is brimming with elegance at the moment.
Well, a much improved batting performance today by the Grizzlies in contrast to what they did on day 1 of this weekend. Of course, 3rd weekend in this 2022 Minor League Cricket Championship. Just 3 options used for the Surf Riders. 3 good overs from Murad. The real question will come in terms of what else do they have in the tank. The Surf Riders, do they have the likes of Adnish Tondil, Nikhil Datta, who we will see very soon, Vedant Jain. So, this innings, you have to put pressure back on this Grizzly batting lineup. Looking to take wickets. It's going to be Adnish Tondil, the medium pacer. Been very impressed with this youngster in terms of his all-round ability. You look at that 35 from 20 yesterday. The fact that he's been able to pick up 9 wickets across the 2 seasons. And he will look to attack the stumps. Hits a hard length, Tondil.
Shivam, new bowler. Bowling right hand over the wicket. Power play is done, okay? New bowler. Bowler change.
So he's going to bowl over the wicket to the left-handed Mishra. Looking to bring that edge into play. We are outside the power play, so he's allowed 5 outside the circle. And look at what he's got in terms of Tondil to long off, long on in place. Deep mid-wicket, deep cover. Standard field for the medium pacer. And the 3rd in place as well on the boundary. So those are the 5 out. Where does he bowl is the real question. Goes the length early on, pulling this one, knowing the field up in the circle. Out the top drawer from Shiva Mishra, single-handedly taking this game away.
No respite. Adnish Tondale. That's the wrong length. Swivels to perfection, Shiva Mishra now. Explores the leg side too. Turning into a dangerous batter.
Well, the youngster under pressure early. We're going for 4. Mishra not phased. The way he's struck it, he's been in such fantastic rhythm in this innings. in the perfect balance of aggression and solid defense. Pace off this time, and another good cut. And it beats the man, and it will spit the two fielders on the boundary. It's consecutive fours, and at this rate, this one could be over very soon.
Oh, that's a good shot. Once again, similar length. This time he's got the width as well to operate on the offside. What an attempt by the fielder at point, but it only remains an attempt. I think the captain has a few things to chirp to the youngster, Adnesh Tondale. Also gets support from other teammates. It's all right, it's half an opportunity.
On the leg side this time, so he struggled to just find that rhythm. Trying to push the ball across the left-hander, but it's actually played into Mishra's game because the man is so powerful in the offside. All of his boundaries have come in that offside region, besides that one pull shot we saw earlier this over.
And you would hope that San Diego Surf Riders do not repeat the mistakes from yesterday. Adnesh Tondale, again, another youngster, couple of boundaries hit under pressure.
Round the wicket for you.
Wide delivery. Now wants to change the angle. The angle of attack. Round the wicket, into the body of the left-hander. Shiva Mishra ready for it.
But it was just on screen, Greg Hay, something that he's going to have to deal with throughout this season. Him and also Nikhil Dutta. And I say those two because they're the more experienced members who have played at a very high level, one in New Zealand, the other in Canada at the international level. When you look through the team, you see Sri Krishna Nattaraju, Adnesh Tondale, you see Abhinay Reddy, senior members, but also Samson Bhatti, Vedant Jain, and then the off-spinner Divam Srivastava. These two guys are going to be the ones that have to lead this team throughout tough situations in this tournament. They've been off to a rough start. They've already 6th in the West, needing to pick up wins, but they have to learn in every situation. Around the wicket again, Malik Junaid hasn't quite got that. And the wicket for Adnesh Tondale. The small cameo from Junaid. He's struck a few big maximums, but this time not getting the power.
Adnesh Tondale. Finally.
Samson Bhatti.
There was no respite. Started with 2 boundaries. This is the comeback that you expect from the youngster. That's what cricket teaches you. There's always a chance of getting back into the groove with a wicket. The battle within a battle ends. Again, back to power there. But a good catch in the end by Devam.
Well, he will only play one way. Junaid gone for 22, 67 for 3 now, the Grizzlies. Sent in at number 3 today was an unorthodox decision from the Grizzlies. There comes that man, Zia Shazad, looking to maintain that left-right combination. The right-handed Shazad walks in. Do, of course, have Mohit Nattaraj, who's finished a couple innings for the Grizzlies. But remember, they are without the services of Hamad Azam, the MVP from the 2021 season, the man that has been so brilliant for this team. You look at his strike rate of 184. Shazad, well, 440 runs across his minor league career. He's been in the wickets, very much wickets, 12 now in this minor league tournament. Of course, presented by Sunoco. Check out Dafa News for all the latest news on these fantastic players playing and competing every weekend. 2 deliveries remain in this over. Tondale went the distance. First 2, Mishra struck him for 2 good boundaries, but he's come back well. 9 off the first 2. Now he's picked up a wicket. Just conceded a run since.
Yeah, boys.
Straight away, Zia Shazad unable to get off the mark just yet, but it's such innings for him today. First game where he's not bad at number 3, Shazad. 381 runs it was in 2021. It was fantastic for this team. Boy, do they need him to step up in a big way. Coming in at number 5 today, a different role, knowing exactly what they need to chase. So far, averaging less than 10. It's been a real struggle with him. For him, sorry, with the bat in hand. How do you come back from that, Suhas, if you are a player of Zia's caliber.
We'll keep the chat alive in the next over. Oh, good delivery. It's not bouncing as much as the batter expected as well. It's got a little nip inside too. A good end to the over for Agnesh Tondale for an over that started not to his plan. Was struck away for 2 boundaries. What a comeback with the wicket and then the dot balls towards the end. Golden State Grizzlies, they've lost their engine room. Shiva Mishra and Zia Mohammed are out there as Zia Mohammed's just walked in, yet to get going. 67 for 3 and 7.
So it will be Zubair Murad bowling his 4th and final over. It tells you Greg Hay knows the importance of picking up wickets. He's searching for them. Interesting move by the captains. Boy, have it this man been hard to stop. Shiva Mishra, the left-hander. Trying to push the ball wide again. Another extra. So asking you though for Zia Shazad. Suhas, how do you get out of that slump if you are him? A man that scored 381 last year, yet to get past 60 runs in the first 6 games.
It happens in the career of every batter. The more talented they are, more it happens. In fact, it's all about being in the right frame of mind every time you put the pads on to bat. Believe that it's your chance. We're seeing it happen with the greats as well at the international level. Back in India, very celebrated. Kohli is searching for runs. So is Rohit Sharma. Zia would want to borrow a leaf out of the book of how they are handling it too. Be in the right frame of mind. Go back to the basics. And believe in your game.
Just on a shorter length from Murad. It's been an economical spell from him, but clearly is outlined by Greg Hay as one of the main wicket-taking options. It's been a bit quiet today. A lot more of those fuller deliveries yesterday, which asked the right questions against the Silicon Valley Strikers. Picked up a wicket against them, one of just 2 wickets. Somewhere they struggled with yesterday was being able to take those wickets. Just taken 161-run partnership scored against them by, of course, the brilliance of Shehan Jayasuriya, Unmukt Chand. So that will be something that they'll want to rectify. They've already taken 3 today, but they're going to need some more with that asking rate just at 5.69.
Zia Murad. He's waiting for the umpire to signal play.
Umpire Samir Bandekar just trying to get everything sorted before you do have play. Very strict taskmaster, Bandekar.
Absolutely. He's done the IPL in India and Maharashtra. You've got so many youngsters lining up to meet him. Knows every single rule in the book like the back of his hand.
So you see there, just the way the umpire's got the ball in hand. Samir Bandekar. Just a small hold up in play.
Did you note the time? Did you note the time?
It will probably be one that Shiva Mishra won't be too happy with, given how well he's struck the ball in this inning so far. A big break in momentum for him.
Absolutely, there's something with the side screen. Something going on with the side screen. And the player's just ensuring that the side screen is absolutely fine so that the visibility of the ball is not hampered at all.
Yes, Shiva Mishra, the left-hander. Want to make sure that you get that right. As a batter, it can be such small things that cause your detriment. Just seems to be one of those advertising boards that were in the line of sight for Shiva Mishra. And Zia Shazad, of course, this tournament brought to you by our corporate sponsors. Dafa News on board as the official sponsor this year. Sunoco, the presenting sponsor. And of course, for the 2nd year in a row, Toyota, having them as a global partner on board. Magnificent. We're just about ready to get underway again. Finally underway is Zia Shazad. Wants to.
Yes, Harish. Yes, Harish. Nice, boys.
Shabash, Harish.
That would be very interesting to see if that break in momentum works in the favor of San Diego Surf Riders, or whether the batters get into the groove as quickly as possible once again. The Golden State Grizzlies. It's an important phase of the game. Golden State Grizzlies, with the target in mind, I really believe if it's about 3 or 4 overs without losing a wicket, even if they're about 6 and over, they would have done their job.
But again, crowd catch. Don't get too excited if you're at home. Shiva Mishra is well settled and well ready to take down this target. Just 72 runs needed now, and it's been because Mishra's been able to put his hand up for his team. Was part of a good partnership with Malik Junaid. One worth 43. Already a big improvement from yesterday, where their highest partnership against the Blazers was just 32. You think about that. T20, sort of the mantra, has just been one big partnership as a batting team when you're chasing. Not the biggest of totals, that 141. On a pitch getting better for batting. Just a single.
The first poor delivery in the over. I would feel like he's missed out on the opportunity there. As
one thing we definitely saw yesterday, that first game was a bit tricky to bat on this surface. Of course, it's a new surface being used today, but the one to the left of it was a bit tricky, especially in that first game. As the day progressed, when the Silicon Valley Strikers take knock on it, 218 they got up to, looked in his best form, so something to note for the next game. Down the leg side again, more extras, and Iftikhar Ahmed just punches it away. No! Fine leg fielder, so not doing themselves any favors.
it's been a perpetual problem for Murad, who's interspersing good deliveries with poor ones like these two. The bane of the wide continues. Iftikhar Ahmed does get a hand to it, so he slowed it down and tossed the fielder. Otherwise, it would have been another boundary. That is what hurt the San Diego Surf Riders yesterday. What is the antidote to the wides from Zubair?
On the leg side again, and another extra. So Suhas, they're not listening to you. Gotta fix that problem.
Yesterday, they granted about 15 easy runs to the opposition as far as San Diego Surf Riders are concerned. Today, the keeping has been better, hence the runs that have flown because of wides have been less, but they're wide nonetheless. That's another opportunity for the batter without a ball being counted.
This time, finally finds it on the stump, and Shiva Mishra happy to just set up for one. Yesterday, 23 extras bowled from the San Diego Surf Riders, and the last time these two teams met, they both 13. So extras have been a big problem in this format for the Surf Riders.
And with those extras, what happens is, especially when you're a fast bowler, you've got to run in again and again. Just begs the question, when you're bowling 4 on the trot, the final delivery, can you give it everything?
Full toss, pace off, and Zia Shahzad just able to get it over Sri Krishna and Antaraju. Really should have been taken, you think, from the tall man.
Wouldn't have mattered, the height was too much, no ball signaled. Nonetheless, it wouldn't have been a boundary had he got a hand to it.
Great. And just trying to get out the over. It's now 9 times he's run up on ball, and he's got to go a 10th, and it's going to be a free hit. Just what you need if you're struggling, like Zia Shahzad has in this tournament, to get underway. Tried to go pace off Zubair Murad, but completely miscued it. Free hit delivery coming up. Look, throws everything he has at that, but it doesn't carry anywhere. That long on fielder. Single to end such a long over. End of the 8th. 81 for 3.
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your true self. The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Nikhil Datta, first time into the attack for him today. We're looking forward to trying to get a breakthrough for his team. They've already picked up 3. You're going to think Suhas, they'll need to take all 10 if they're to win this game from this position. 81 for 3.
Ball change, Nikhil.
At a similar stage, it was a very slow start for the Surf Riders. They were 39 for 2, but then the 80-run partnership between this man, Dutta, and Greg Hay will pick things up. The off-spinner starting, just won his first delivery.
Good delivery to start with. He knows he's got a sweeper in place. And Nikhil Datta, he's got a one that he pushes with the front of the hand. You talk to him, he says he's also been working on the slightly slower one. You'd see him practice a knuckleball as well at times, but he doesn't call it the knuckleball.
Round the wicket.
He calls it the other one.
Around the wicket, looking to bring that pad into play. Coming back for 2 as well. Good running from Shiva Mishra. He's quick. Gets there quite easily in the end. Well, it's been such an interesting weekend in this 2022 Toyota Minor League presented by Sunoco. Yesterday, we saw some real interesting results in this Pacific Conference. The Mustangs picking up their first loss to the Tigers. So Dutta has changed up his angles well over on a need the wicket desperately. Another good delivery. The fact that they have a left-handed Mishra well set, I think, has kept Vedant Jain, the leg spinner, out of the attack. I haven't seen many googlies from the youngster Jain, so Greg Hay has been hesitant to go to his young leggy.
Yeah, with Vedant Jain, the googly is still work in progress. But again, the slider is something that he usually goes to.
Flighted delivery from Dutta. Just a singles. A good start by him. Just 4 runs conceded. Have to try and string together some dot deliveries to bring that scoring rate down. Must close out the over well.
He's bowling over for you.
I think Shazad will see this as a perfect opportunity. Just 57 runs needed. 5 runs and over to bat through the innings. Spend some time in the middle. Just a single to end the over. End of 9, 86 for 3. I was mentioning previously in the over about this points table, the way things have ended up in this Pacific Conference. You look at the Mustangs yesterday, shocking defeat. Their first of the tournament to leave us now with 1 unbeaten team. The Strikers, the Tigers surge to the 2nd place. That's over in the Central Division. They're up against the Houston Hurricanes today. We saw wins also for the Philadelphians, the Yorkers, St. Louis Americans as well. With Sherfane Rutherford, a big addition for them. They're in 3rd place. Michigan Cricket Stars as well with Noman Anmar, Zishan Masood. Boy, I tell you, this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, you couldn't ask for a closer battle than this. It's going to be spin from both ends. We just spoke about him. Suhas looks like the leggy.
This is a picturesque ground indeed, and here we have a director romancing the beautiful views that we have as he eventually gets to zoom out and pan. Wow, what a ground, what a place to play cricket in. If you love cricket and you love nature, this is one of the best places to be.
Well, luckily for us, our director is from Barbados, so he knows about fantastic shots, fantastic weather. You've got to make the trip over to Paradise. Join me in the Caribbean. Vedant, 13 wickets. He's a wicket taker. He's shown it across the 2 seasons. But a tough situation now. Bowling to Shiva Mishra, who's at the other end, the left-hander. Leg spinner to leg spinner. Shiva, Zia Shazad at the crease.
He's got to get it right. I'd be very interested to see his line especially. The length is something he gets right more often than not. Now to the right-hander first up. It's important he starts off well. Here's young Vedant.
Flight Swan. Shazad goes to extra cover though. Going to be very hard to stop that even with a cover in place. This man has struggled for runs all season. A different player today.
Not too full,
That has got "I am back in form" written all over it. Inside out. It's one of the difficult shots to play. He's read the flight on it too. Just stayed put. Believed he can generate that power as well with his wrists. Gets the placement right. Everything right about that shot for a man who was searching for form.
We have seen this from the Grizzlies batters. Anytime a new bowler's come into the attack, they've been happy to go after them early. Try to just rattle them a bit. We saw it with Adnish Tondale. He was struck for 2 boundaries in his spell. Very first 2 deliveries. Much quicker from Vinat Jain. Very close to cut. Shahzad in double figures, but it hasn't been an easy road for him. Averaging this tournament after that 381 run season in 2021. Across the line this time. Jain causing some problems. What you like to see from your leg spinner.
2 dot balls back to back. Zia getting a word of advice from Mishra.
I think that's what Shiva Mishra may have told him. Just look to get 1, because he's a left hand at the other end, and he'll be looking after spending 23 deliveries at the crease. Shiva Mishra, with the ball spinning into him, he'll really back himself to continue to score. He hasn't seen the strikers yet. Shahzad goes again. That is magnificent from the all-rounder. Boy, has he struggled in this tournament, but with shots like that, it reminds you why he's so effective.
That looked effortless. That's the margin of error. He's moved outside off as well to cover the line. Clean swing of the bat and the ball flies. Vedant, he's got it wrong this time around. That's right in the slot. And with that much flight, it's just inviting the batter to go big.
This time, much better line. Comes much straighter. Shahzad, though, he's done his job off the over. Did very well to get 10, a 4 and a 6, 96 for 3.
At the moment, Golden State Grizzlies cruising. You could see the worm in red. When the 2 dots are wide apart, those are good signs. As far as the San Diego Surf Riders are concerned, they picked up momentum towards the end, but they were infested with those dots towards the end as well, not getting momentum for a big finish. It looked good for 150 plus at one stage when Hayes was going good, but Hayes wasn't there till the end. Golden State Grizzlies at the halfway stage, 96. They've knocked off most of the runs.
And all of a sudden, this run chase looking minimal for the Grizzlies. That's continuing, and it's been just sensible batting. Something we expected to see from the Grizzlies batting line that's fired pretty much 5 out of 6 times in this tournament. But yesterday, just a change in approach, just shot selection was so wrong. And they lost their way throughout the middle. Much improved today, though. So that's the off spinner. Trying to make something happen from around the wicket. Again, safe, cool, calm. And you wonder, though, the Surf Riders were 100 for 2 after 15 overs. With 8 wickets in hand, 5 overs remain. You bat them to get up to 150 or more. Just got to 141. Now with 43 required to win, expect it could just have fallen short in terms of that run-scoring effort batting first.
Yeah, he's coming around.
Shahzad has supported Mishra well. 31 partnership between these two. Been gifted by some ordinary bowling, Shahzad, but he's made use of it. Made the most of this opportunity. Another safe single for him. Exactly what's required. Less than 5 runs and over needed.
It's getting difficult for Nikhil Datta as well, as he realizes all they need to do is milk his bowling. Mishra and Shahzad, they're quite content picking up singles and sometimes converting it to 2 as the runs have flowed from the other over.
As well for the Grizzlies with that single. So Datta has struggled with the ball in hand in terms of picking up wickets, which is what he was literally brought in to do. But so far with the bat in hand, crossing 200 today, another good 41 from him. Did have that player of the match performance against the Houston Hurricanes, the only game that this San Diego Surf Riders team have won. But since then, well, they've been struggling in terms of with that bat in hand to build any sort of momentum in this innings.
I think even if the batting clicks, there is some more maturity required with the ball in hand to close out games, especially against teams of the ilk of Silicon Valley Strikers and Golden State Grizzlies. Now, can they pick up a wicket over here? It'll make it very, very interesting. San Diego Surf Riders desperately need one, if not two.
One-run partnership put on yesterday by the Strikers. That's what really took the game away from the Surf Riders. Just that inability to pick up wickets. End of 11, 102 for 3.
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your true self. The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Yesterday, this Surf Riders bowling lineup, they gave away 60 runs in the last 5 overs against the Silicon Valley Strikers. It's been a big problem. And they're hoping that the young leg spinner, Vedant Jain, can help them get into the wickets. They need them desperately at this stage if they're to win this game from this position.
Vedant Jain, but he had the hearts to toss it up once again. He understands that he will be taken apart if he did so. If he gets it wrong, that is. And up against the same batter, Zia, who loves to use his feet. Or would he be pushing it through quickly?
Quicker delivery from Vedant Jain, especially the way Shahzad has attacked in the last couple of overs. You don't want to give him too much flight. We saw Greg Hay go to the straight boundaries pretty often throughout that 66 he played in the first innings, the captain.
I'll tell you the reason. One flighted delivery, a couple of them in between, is because they're searching for wickets. They want to entice the batters too. You've got to find the right balance too.
Well, Mishra has watched from the other end since Shahzad has come to the crease. They're one of the smaller contributors in this 35-run partnership put on by these two, but he's done so well to make sure he stays there. Wants to see this all the way home for his team. Just 39 runs needed now for victory. It's very straight from Vedant Jain. May want to just see him attack that off stump some more.
This is very mature batting from Mishra. Also because he understood that Shahzad was initially struggling with form. The fact that he waited for Shahzad to be back in form with the crisp hits by taking the attack on initially.
There it is. Wicket, middle stump cannoned. And Zia Shahzad, he got a start today, 21, looking to just take it on. Straight across the line, and he's gone.
Vedant Jain targets the middle. That one goes through as Zia Shahzad was too early with his stroke. An important wicket in the context. Zia Shahzad gets a start but doesn't convert. 104, the Golden State Grizzlies.
Well, it is much improved from Zia Shahzad, but he'll still be disappointed with that shot. It wasn't necessary at this stage, given the fact that you only need 38 more runs. Shahzad, though, much improved that he's finally found the middle of the bat on a couple of occasions. And now it's up to the Grizzlies to ensure that they can just get over the line. Aditya Srinivas comes to the middle now. Very capable with the bat in hand. Still haven't seen Mohit Nataraj. So a lot of batting still to come, still in the hutch. And just 38 runs to get. Looking for, of course, their 5th win. Trying to build themselves up in that Western Conference table. This is the wicket again. Right across the line from Zia Shahzad. Flighted delivery, good bowling from Jain. May have expected it to spin the other way. Right-hander just went straight through him.
He was looking for that extravagant shot on the leg side, and in the end has missed a pretty straight ball. Hitting against the spin was anyways not going to be easy. The angle in which he finishes that shot, I think he was setting himself up for a big heave over mid-wicket. Not a bad option at all, but not the right ball to do so. Again, there's two singles in the over and a wicket. Vedant Jain's having a good over so far, needs to close it out. Well, this is where maturity kicks in. It's important that someone like Greg Hay has an arm around Vedant's shoulder to tail him and guide him through these next two deliveries as well. It's good to see that he's given him some confidence with the slip in place.
Yes! 2 and 2 for Vedant Jain. Flight on offer this time. Cannons into the pad. Finger goes straight up. Srinivas is in disbelief.
Vedant Jain picks up 2 and 2. He's brought San Diego Surf Riders back into this game with his beauty. Well, was there a bit of bat involved? That's for another day. Up got the finger, and the finger, what matters, is already pointing towards the sky. The batter has to walk. He's not going to trouble the scorers today.
As soon as that slip was employed, he have just put that sign of indecision. Srinivas gone without scoring. 104 all of a sudden for 5 wickets now. Grizzlies in some trouble. I think with just 4.65 runs per over required. Wickets is the only way you get back into this. They need 5 good deliveries. That's what Greg Hay will be telling his men. 5 good deliveries away from winning this game.
It's good to see that Greg is attacking as well. Immediately after the previous wicket fell, a slip was deployed. And Srinivas, who's got to consider himself a little unlucky, is back in the pavilion.
So still no Mohit Nataraj, which is very surprising for this Golden State Grizzlies team. They do have a deep batting lineup. Looks to be Sohan Bhatt, who's going to come to the middle.
Sohan Bhatt, amongst the runs in the previous game, has been given the responsibility to play this phase out where the momentum is with San Diego Surf Riders. On a hat-trick, the young Vedant Jain. Sohan Bhatt first needs to keep the hat-trick out. Then, of course, he needs the guiding force of Mishra at the other end. It's going to be a different kind of an innings today from Sohan that is required for his side. Not when he comes in and finishes things off, but one where he bats sensibly for at least 2 to 3 overs before he goes for the big shots.
There's 2 left-handers at the crease now, and I think Shiva Mishra will be even more disappointed that he's not faced much of Vedant Jain. Ball spinning back into him naturally as a left-hander. You bat yourself to take on the leg spinner. Just watched a lot from the other end inside these first 2 overs from Jain. 2 runs, 2 wickets, hat-trick ball. Can he get it, the youngster? Slip still in place. Good delivery, asking the right questions. Sohan Bhatt off the mark straight away with a double to end the over. End of 12, 106 for 5.
The San Diego Surf Riders, the worm in blue is always below the worm in red because of the way they started. Greg Hay did put the innings together of 68 to add some stability. The Golden State Grizzlies, they came out all guns firing with Malik Junaid providing the impetus early on. The Manhattans in red would be high initially, but now this is a battle of the middle overs.
Do you think it's all about T20 cricket when you're chasing scores, especially in the vicinity of 140, all about one big partnership. 43 and 37, the last 2. So they've helped the Grizzlies get up to this position. Still bat them, even with 5 wickets down. Still Mohit Nataraj in the hatch. Sohan Bhatt showing he's very capable. And Shiva Mishra at the other end. 36 needed. The youngster Devam Srivastava. What a first delivery it was of this innings. He got the huge wicket of the captain, Sami Aslam. Does he have a couple more in the tank? I like this angle. On the money straight away. 2-2 left-handers. You love the move from Greg Hay, spinning the ball away from both of them. So that's another challenge.
And this is why he's so effective. First delivery of the game. Gets the big fish out. Straight. Gets in for the illusion of spin. Didn't bounce as much as well. Trapped in front. Aslam goes without troubling the scorers.
Has been a tough weekend for Sami Aslam. Yesterday dismissed in the first over as well. That time to Mark Dayal, another off spinner. Has struggled with that ball spinning away from him. Usually a good player of spin though, Sami Aslam. So Surprising, it's 2 run-outs this weekend, but he's such a good player that you expect him to come back well. A lot on the shoulders of Shivam Mishra. Sohan Bhatt just got to spend some time at the crease with him. Love that length. I love that length from the youngster because it's so hard to get under that. If you want to even take on the straight boundary for Sohan Bhatt, though, you'll be just thinking about a single. Don't want to let the Surf Riders team back in this game.
Just 1 run of the first 3 balls.
Finally gets a single. How often do we see it in this game? 1 always brings 2. He's able to take 2 in the last over. Vedat Jain, he's still got 2 up his sleeve as well.
Oh, sorry.
I wonder though, with 2 left-handers at the crease, if you're Greg Hayes, Suhas, are you bold enough to go back to the leg spinner?
I'd give the youngster another chance and also ask him to toss it up slightly wide though this time round. With 2 left-handers in operation.
Very full. Mishra wants 2, calls 2 straight away. They'll get it pretty comfortably in the end. Greg Hayes is a good fielder, but can't stop them. Running 2 there, so once they continue to take that scoring over, they can take it in 10s. Just 32 needed for victory. It's been because of good work done by Mishra, Malik Junaid, and Zia Shazad.
You've got to like that fight back and the captaincy from Greg Hay. You always need the extra bit of help from the fielders around because you don't want to take your gloves off, and it's the right spirit, of course. This game, I tell you, that's why you get a Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. A lot of camaraderie, but once the ball is on the top of the mark, fierce cricket.
Oh no! And just put down Srivastava. He's a long man, and it goes to the fielder as well at long on. You only have 32 runs to defend. Misfields and mistakes like that.
Just the opportunity that had to be generated. That could have been a simpler catch. I think he fell over it. He expected the pace of the ball to be a little more, and then the misfield too. Things not going the Surf Riders' way. The tide they want is not happening.
End of 13, 114 for 5.
What's the score?
Come again, please.
Well, Mishra, 4 away from a half century. Boy, has he batted well, but he's got to see it home for his team now. The Surf Riders and Greg Hay will know if they can take 1 wicket. And that wicket of Mishra, all of a sudden, you get some inexperienced players at the crease. Game back on. But you have to do yourself the favor of fielding well when you only post 140.
That was rubbing salt in the wounds indeed. First the catch drop, and then the ball, which is supposed to be at max a single, and difficult to, suddenly runs away for 4 without much resistance.
He has heard you, Suhas. He's gone back to Vedat Jain. Against 2 left-handers. Slip in place as well. Conventional field, deep mid-wicket in place. Cover, long off, long on the boundary. Crucial over for the Surf Riders if they can get 1 more. Price 1 more wicket here. Very full. Able to get off the mark straight away. Sohan Bhatt does the right thing. Just gets off strike. Lets the more experienced Mishra come.
It's not a daunting total now. The required rate is well under control. 3.95 per over, which can be achieved with knocking singles around.
Much quicker from Vedat Jain. Pushing that one across the left-hander. Wonder did he get some bat on that? Iftikhar Ahmed though, disappointed that he wasn't able to hold on. Always tough as a keeper, so close to the stumps, especially with those quicker deliveries.
Nobody's done.
Seems to be a gap there between bat and ball. Goes across this time, Shiva Mishra. Just finds the fielder though, just be a single. No real risk needed, less than 30 runs required for victory. Sohan Bhatt must play it safe. Yesterday he played a good innings, 17 from 13 deliveries. less aggression, less risk needed today. Boy, will Greg here be begging for another wicket. Slip comes out.
With the angle of attack as well, yes, that's exactly what they're discussing. He wants someone in front, probably the covers region, so that when he plays it to them, it's a dot ball and not a single. Because a single is a, as far as the men in red are concerned. Now he's got a backward point in place and now an extra cover.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry. Good delivery from Jane. Able to dot him up. Shiva Mishra on strike, and you'll take this if you're Greg Hay. Leg spinner bowling to two left-handers, just conceding the 2 runs. He'll be looking to close out this over with a boundary. Not necessary though, just can knock it around. Sohan Bhatt. The slip just came out, and he gets it in that same region, and it goes over the boundary for 4. That will hurt Vedant Jain.
Let's put him back.
Lovely guidance from the youngster. Sohan Bhatt puts it away.
Sorry.
So shrewd. And he's chosen a very safe area too. With this kind of an outfield, no chance for the fielder inside the 30-yard circle, even though he has a good stride. Hurry.
And I mentioned how important young Sohan Bhatt was with the ball in hand in the absence of Vatsa Vaghela, but now showing that he can bat as well. Capable mind in a tough situation with the slip in place. This time shows good restraint. 6 from the over, 120 for 5.
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your true self. The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
And what's their score? 41 or 42? 41 is target.
So Nikhil Datta seems the off spinner now with 2 left-handers at the crease. Back himself.
So 22 runs
So
required,
look to
right?
take wickets. It's only 3 wickets picked up in this 2022 Toyota Minor League presented by Sunoco. How fantastic has it been to have our global partners on board? Think about Toyota for a 2nd year running. Our title sponsors, the presenting sponsors for the first time, fueling the tournament, Sunoco. And then DAFA News as well. All the action from the weekend. You can find it on DAFA News. Great analysis, great summaries. It's actually going to be Harish Kakani, who bowled 2 overs early inside that power play, was able to pick up the crucial wicket of Shandell. So pace back into the attack.
Bowler change. Third
Shiva
bowler
Mishra has dealt with pace so nicely, especially Harish Kakani's deliveries. Got lucky with 1 boundary, but 2 of them were struck so well. One from the middle of the bat, one just guiding the ball with great elegance.
This time, again looking to target that square boundary. Is hitting pretty high up. Gonna have to rub that in the hip region. That will hurt. Wonder did he get any bat on it? So it has to be runs. So he may have just got an inside edge.
Thank you.
Is it again? Bowling around the wicket, Kakani. Surprising that the umpire didn't make the leg by signal there. Didn't see much bat there, Suhas.
Well, Mishra is not complaining as he inches towards a half-century. Sohan Bhatt, a runner ball 8 for him. He hasn't hung around. He's been a busy player ever since he's walked out, and that's worked in the favor of Golden State Grizzlies. It's worked in the favor of the batting team. When you have a youngster not taking time at all, nurdling the ball around, supporting the senior, these are little phases and nuances in the game that you need to win.
This time looking for wickets, Greg Hay. He's got a slip in place. Has been happy to generate that slip in and out, regardless of the bowler.
I'll tell you what, Sohan Bhatt is impressed one and all. He's ticking all the boxes to stay in the playing 11 as much as possible. He's picking up wickets. He's batting according to the situation. Such good game awareness, even with that single, playing with soft hands, not trying to go for a big shot. Very mature.
close to the stumps, that delivery. As in terms of where he delivered it. And Kakani again, the leading wicket taker for this Surf Riders. He's got his 8th of the tournament. And it's the big one. Mishra walking back too short of a half century.
The senior most with the ball in hand. He had to deliver and provides the big fish back in the hut. Played on, that'll strike timber. That is a lovely channel and an excellent line. He forced Mishra to play at it. And he was caught at the crease. Didn't know whether to go forward or backward with that one. Mishra departs for a terrific 48. Golden State Grizzlies would believe there isn't another twist in the tail. 122 now.
Real disappointed with that. Shiva Mishra did all the hard yards to get in for his team. No, but they do have the experienced Mohit Nataraj, who's come in very late today, in at number 8. You can see they're very effective with the bat in hand. Hasn't had much opportunity, but when he has, struck at 175 in the 5 innings he's batted in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket.
We know him as a flamboyant batter, Mohit, who has all the shots in the book. He's someone who can reverse scoop a pacer for a 6. But I'll tell you what, after yesterday's dismissal, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a little mellowed down to at least start with. Now it's not a daunting total either. He's allowed to take a bit of time.
Well, Nataraj probably saved for this reason, just in case they have any stumble as they look now to chase down this total. Remember, 141 was all the Surf Riders were able to muster, and you think, were they 10 to 15 runs short? Had they got up to 55, even 160, how different this game could have been. Still never over yet. 20 required from 5.5 overs. Kakani with the slip in place, trying to make something happen. Harish Kakani, big wicket for him.
I'm very surprised that Nataraj has decided to stand slightly outside the crease. There seems to be some movement for Kakani then. That occasion, watches it go.
One thing to notice about Harish Kakani, just how close he's delivering the ball next to the umpire, almost brushing him on the way through. Again, very good delivery. This is a very good over from the experienced seamer. Still one delivery remaining, a chance to pick up a wicket.
Oh, what a good fight back from San Diego Surf Riders. They've got about 19 to work with. That's 18 the cushion. But this fight back will definitely be remembered. Okay, they go the extra yard to close it out in their favor.
Look how close he's delivering Suhas next to the umpire Bandekar, almost brushing his arm. Smart batting though, smart batting from the Grizzlies. Just playing the situation well. Sohan bat moves into double figures. End of 15, 124 for 6.
Over.
Golden State Grizzlies. Now the Vermin Red always on top. They got off to a fiery start even after losing an early wicket, thanks to Malik Junaid and those dots as well. They're far apart. They're far apart from each other. That's good. But those two dots, one on top of the other, that is when the game changed a little bit. But the target's still not daunting. Manhattan, well, it sort of tapers away towards the end, but it's also because the required rate has died down. 7, 8 and 4. These are the over numbers which got a lot of runs at Grizzlies, which means less to get towards the end.
Finally will be Nikhil Datta. I'm surprised they've taken so long. Even though, yes, Skrike knows he hasn't picked up wickets throughout the tournament, but your main strike bowler who's played at the international level, over 30 games internationally in the white balls format. In terms of for Canada, Nikhil Datta. So now to two left, well, was two left-handers at the crease. Want to get that wicket as Sohan bat. Less than 20 runs required, you think. Should be a walk in the park from here on in.
You've got to admire the maturity of Sohan Butt. And he'll earn himself a brownie point for sure if he can stay there till the end and guide his team through.
Good delivery with the ball spinning away. All of a sudden, that's looking like a different bowler. First delivery of his spell, second spell for him. After just the 2 overs.
Nikhil Datta is searching for his first scalp. And his team would be very eager to get a fantastic over from him. again, Greg would have understood that it's a matter of wickets here.
Oh. Very quick from Dutta. Beats the outside edge of Sohan bat. This is a good start to the over. Just wonder though, is this just a little too late from the Surf Riders? The Grizzlies were able to get up to 96 for 3 in the first 10. Just a lot of loose deliveries, but since that double wicket over from Vedant Jain, boy have they come back well. This time across the line. Just can't hit the stump. Nikhil Datta.
But this is good bowling. Stringing together dot deliveries. The previous one beating the outside edge. This one slightly quicker and onto the stumps. You've got to play it as well. He's making the batter play it. Sohan Butt is getting something slightly out of syllabus.
Very mature from Bat. Easily in that situation. You look at 3 dot balls prior.
No runs there.
Another batter would have easily looked to play a big shot, get a boundary, but with just 16 runs required for victory now, 17 correction, does the right thing, brings Nataraj, the right-hander, on strike.
Shot fine. This is leg though, right sir?
And Nataraj, the senior of the two. Now he'll be telling himself with the game that he has that it's a matter of one good delivery from the middle of the bat and the equation would be well under control. It wouldn't be too close for comfort then.
Wants to, calls 2 straight away. It's going to be a 2. No, it is not. Stutter. Very fortunate in the end. Could have been trouble.
Good call. Yeah. Sabas, come.
Even though
played it with soft hands there to allow himself enough time to come back for the second. So the second run wasn't on. The throw was quick.
1 wicket from here, 1 wicket from here. Come on, lads. Catch it.
This time in the air, bat. Nikhil Dutt under it and takes it. He throws it away, the youngster, after so much responsibility. The wickets continue to fall for the Golden State Grizzlies. Throwing this away, just 16 runs to get.
More drama. This is turning out to be a pot boiler. You don't know what's going to happen. Nikhil Datta, cool, calm, collected, didn't move an inch in his follow-through. Completes the catch as Butt departs for a well-made 11. Golden State Grizzlies, a stutter towards the end, 126. 1-2-6 for 7 as Butt departs.
Will be Srinivas. Ditya Srinivas coming to the middle. Abhinder Singh, correction it is. The tall leg spinner. Just think though, Mohit Nataraj, now the responsibility over to him. And the shot selection was something that really gave this Grizzlies team nightmares yesterday against the Blazers. Only got up to 123. And only were able to score 41 runs in the last 5. They lost 7 wickets. So they really struggled in this phase. And today again, similar from the Grizzlies.
And this is why Abhinder is in the middle. Wouldn't have wanted to pad up with the total the way they were going, Grizzlies. But one miscue which went straight up in the air. And what you got to like about Nikhil is the fact that he didn't push it through. He allowed the batter and enticed him into playing that big shot. It's good captaincy as well to bring Nikhil on when it's the left-hander in the mix.
Well, Harsh Kakani will bowl his 4th and final. He's already picked up 2. On to 9 wickets now in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. And they do have that slip in operation. Aggressive captaincy from Hay. You think this could be much closer than people expect. Yes, 16 runs required. You take another wicket here. Many may pick the Surf Riders. Down the leg side, it was their bat on it. Iftikhar Ahmed was unable to complete the catch. Wait for the signal from the umpire. Leg by is given, so may have just brushed the hip on the way through.
Could have stopped the run nonetheless. A clean collect would have stopped the run. Did get excited, but once it popped out, change in strike.
Every run will be so crucial at this stage. Mention how young and inexperienced this bowling attack is. So this will help them in terms of their learnings. Oh, good Yorker by Kakani. Also interested to see where Greg K goes in terms of his other options. Nikhil Dutta's bowled that last over superbly well. He has one remaining. Do you go back to maybe Srivastava, who has two? Andesh Tondale's only bowled one over, gone for 10 runs, but picked up a wicket. Expect him to play a part in the next couple of overs. Just 14 needed though. Mohit Nataraj will expect, he'll back himself to get over the line from this position. He's been in this position many times for the Grizzlies. Just playing that well, delicately down to third, just for a single.
Mohit Nataraj would be looking at this equation as a matter of singles. Abhyender would back himself somewhere in the middle. And that can be the route to 13 without any more risk.
With that man on screen, Greg Hay, I think he'll have to feel very happy, not only for his personal performance, 66 today, but the way his team has sort of developed over this weekend. Another single. The way they fought yesterday against the defending champions to get it to 184 in the 20 overs, chasing 218. Then today as well against last year's winners of the Western Conference, team that finished first, the Grizzlies. This has been a good performance by them. The fact that they're still in the game, still in the hunt at this stage, I think there's a lot to learn, a lot to take from this one. Another good run out for the Surf Riders. Not over yet though, they never know in this game of cricket.
Harish Kakani is being dealt with minimum risk as far as the batters are concerned.
That one keeps very low, could have easily gone. You can hear the shout from Nikhil Datta.
And what about this one? And we have another game on this track. Would be very interesting.
Really trying to hit the deck hard, and you can see Mohit Nataraj expected much more bounce from that delivery. Ahmed did well away. Any boundary from here, it's just less than 10 needed. Asking the question, but very high. Going to always be tough for the umpire. Heard two noises as well, likewise given. So building the pressure. 5 runs from the over. Still just 11 runs needed. 1-3-1 for 7.
As the East Bay Blazers walk into the ground to play the next, Golden State Grizzlies find themselves at 131 for 7. 3 more overs to go, and they have only 11 to get. Equation well under control as far as Mohit Nataraj and Abhinder Singh are concerned.
Well, many will know that chasing on this ground hasn't been the easiest. If you watched yesterday, it took 19.4 overs, the East Bay Blazers, to get that 123 set by the Grizzlies. And here, this one coming down a bit close for comfort, probably closer than they would have expected. Being at 102 for 11 overs, the way that Shiva Mishra, Malik Junaid were striking the ball. Then when Zia Shahzad came in, but the bowling has definitely improved in this latter phase of the innings.
This is a big moment in the game. Vedant Jain given the additional responsibility to bowl one of the most important overs of this game. This can be the make or break over. With 11, it's the leg spinner in operation. He's picked up 2 wickets. He's looking good with his confidence.
2 wickets in an over.
He's got to get this one right, especially to righty. And I'll tell you what, Abhyender at the other end as well. No muck with the bat. He's played a lot of good innings for Haryana, especially in under 16.
Well, it's clear to see that the San Diego Surf Riders are definitely missing their international player, Marty Kane. He's an all-rounder and would bowl in these tight situations for his team. Obviously away with the USA, playing against Jersey tomorrow in the T20 World Cup qualifiers, Zimbabwe. So he's been such a huge absence for his team. Hasn't played at all in this 2022 Toyota Minor League, the tournament that really got him that selection in the team. Great to see the talent feeding over to the international setup. Good delivery again, but that's all they need at this stage. Less than 10 required. They want 2 as well. Gonna get it.
Soft hands, tall lad. The second run's matter of 5 strides. This is a big learning curve indeed for Vedant, and this is why I say so. So deep inside the crease, he was still those 2 runs was possible. Good running from Abhinder. Runs required in single digit.
Good delivery though, via dot. So trying to build the pressure with dot balls, trying to get the wickets. Just 8 needed.
Good bowling, good bowling.
From the 15 legal deliveries, but we did see a similar situation. The Grizzlies were on the flip side. They were bowling yesterday, and it was dot balls that allowed them to take it into the last over. Another one. Nataraj wants a single. Gets there in the end. Good commitment by him. As soon as Abhinder Singh made contact, Nataraj commanding the strike. What you expect from your more experienced players in this situation.
The running between the wickets has been tremendous in this over. The ball has gone absolutely nowhere, not even 15 yards. But the singles and the doubles that they've scampered through, Abhinder Singh and Mohit Nataraj have been a treat to watch.
Oh, wow.
Oh my
Coming
God.
right across his stumps. That could have easily brushed the leg stump on the way through. Why that risk? Yesterday's shot selection from Nataraj was questionable. You're so important to this run chase. You have to stay there.
That shot is like an off note in a melodious song. Where did that come from? Now Greg wants to stop this single.
You want to be brave?
No. Not today.
Well, you mentioned his strike rate coming into this innings. 175 from Mohit Nataraj. 32 from 18 balls, his highest score in this minor league. In the air, just short of Vedant Jain. Agonizingly close. Could have had a wicket, but a really good over from the youngster to close his spell. 4 runs. 35 for 7.
Score 135, 7 to win.
2 over left, 7 to win.
7 required in 12 balls. Getting close. Mohit Nataraj and Abhinder Singh still out there, quite comfortable. The worm charts suggest that towards the end, a lot of wickets were lost by San Diego Surf Riders, and Golden State Grizzlies have always been ahead in this chase. A couple of wickets in quick succession, not to their liking, but still stabilized by some quick running between the wickets by Abhinder Singh and Mohit Nataraj.
We see those dots, 24 runs. They lost 6 wickets in the last 4 overs, and that's the problem. That's why the Surf Riders just fell short of 10 to 15 runs. Just 7 to get now for the Grizzlies. Nikhil Datta comes back into the attack. Very important over. He can get a wicket here. And the wicket of Nataraj, you never know. 7 needed.
These 6 balls, the man on your screen, it is going to be gold dust. He's handled the pressure so well. He's added the additional pressure of holding the innings together with the bat in hand. Looks like it's just not enough. 7 required of 12 balls. You've got to go with the Grizzlies over here. The game's with the Grizzlies. Nikhil Datta. Can he provide the wicket?
Goes with the leg spin, and Nikhil Datta is full. And that is what Abhinder Singh says. 6. All of a sudden, scores level. He went for the leg break, the change-up delivery. Got it wrong, way too full for those straight boundaries.
Oh, easy pickings for a tall man like Abhinder. Was waiting for something in his arc. Mid-off up in the circle, an invitation to go for the big shot. Abhinder obliges. And when Abhinder obliges, it travels a long, long way. I've told you, there's no muck with a bat in hand. Remember, a gritty half-century. It was in newspapers all around the Haryana area. 1 more run for victory here. Golden State Grizzly could sense 2 points crawling towards them.
Just 1 run away now from victory for the Grizzlies. And goes full again, and that will be it. Finishing it off in style with 2 maximums. Abhinder Singh, and then more importantly, the Grizzlies, after a tough game yesterday, are back in the W column with an important win to pick up their 5th of this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. 1 set up by the bowlers, but in the end, experience getting them over the line. Shiva Mishra was brilliant with his 48, winning by some 3 wickets, pretty close in the end, but they've got the win.
The Golden State Grizzlies in the end cruise to victory with 10 important balls to spare. Will do a world of good to their net run rate as well. And this is how they got to the total.
It's definitely not a tie. Grizzlies. Some important partnerships which they weren't able to do yesterday. Shiva Mishra and Malik Junaid put on a good one through the middle, worth 43 runs. And then Zia Shazad came to the middle and finally got in the runs column, 21 for him. Well finished off in the end by Abhinder Singh. In winning by some 3 wickets. The Golden State Grizzlies to continue to be third in this Western Conference.
The San Diego Surf Riders. This time the bowlers did step up and the young guns did provide the wicket, but not enough cushion for them. Devam Srivastava picked up a wicket, very first ball of the over, the very first ball of the game, and was setting it up nicely for San Diego Surf Riders. But in the end, despite 2 important wickets from someone like Vedant Jain and of course the experienced Harish Kakani, wasn't enough.
Well, there you have it. Surf Riders just always felt, after being 100 for 2 after 15 overs, just fell short of 10 to 15 runs. Greg Hay, the captain, he starred with 66. The Grizzlies, in the end, a couple of stumbles on the way, but they got there in the end. Shiva Mishra, 48, highlighting that brilliant 147 that they got to inside the 19th over. And it will be the Grizzlies to pick up their 5th win in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. Let's have a look at how things unfolded with the bat in hand for the Grizzlies. Really was a horrendous start for them. On the back foot, Sami Aslam. Devam Srivastava again, 2nd time he's been dismissed to him in this tournament. Malik Junaid came in, wasn't phased at all. Showed that Toyota Tundra power. 10 from 2 deliveries in that first over. Srivastava was instantly taken out of the attack. Harish Kakani, probably the pick of the bowlers for the Surf Riders, was met with brute force over long on. And then Kakani went full, went straight through point. That was a good shot from Mishra, but then the edge was found. And you have to go dismiss that. Running at number 3. Mishra then, a couple of interesting shot selections from him. Malik Junaid though, that was a statement piece. Stand and deliver stuff from the big man. Another important contribution in just his 2nd game for him. That one went through the cover fielder. Nikhil Datta had a tough time in the field today. Found the boundary, and that was just delicately placed by Mishra, who got to 48, top scorer for the Golden State Grizzlies. Another misfield. They were not good in the field today, the Surf Riders, and it cost them. In the end, slip was in and out, and when it was out, they were happy to open the pace and ride that ball down to 3rd. The square boundaries are pretty big here at Morgan Hill, but they were able to find the gaps. Couple of cuts. They started extremely well, this Grizzlies team, to get it to 96 after the first 10. That was a full toss, a no ball by Zia Shazad, which he was able to get over the mid-off fielder, just helped him in terms of momentum. Another good extra cover drive. Man has been struggling for runs, and then picked that one up all the way for a maximum. Probably the best one without do his confidence with the bat in hand. A lot of good, and then just threw it away. Middle stump, peg back. Another important strike for Vedant Jain. It was 2 and 2 for Jain inside the 12th over, and just there, Predators could come back into the game. Another misfield. It's just a normal, constant throughout this innings for the Surf Riders. They didn't do themselves any favors. And then Kakani making a difference, taking the crucial wicket of Shiva Mishra after all the hard work was done. Just thought the Grizzlies, well, they would look to try to get over the line, and then Zia Shazad went as well very soon after. Spin came out, and the leg spin went from Nikhil Datta. Abhinder Singh with 2 huge maximums to close off and win the game. Of course, with the man that made such an impact. Before we get there, the points table. The Grizzlies, that will be a win that will help them. It takes them up to 2nd position now on 10 points, just the 2 losses. Such a tight Western Conference with the Thunderbolts, the East Bay Blazers in action later today. Can't wait to see how this group unfolds as we go through the weekends of this minor league. But alongside me, the man that made the difference today with both bat and ball, back to normalcy for Zia Shazad, 3 wickets and 21 runs, but with the bat especially Zia, as we're very happy after a tough season to get back.
Thank you so much. Actually, I was struggling from last couple of matches, so I just tried to rotate the strike today, and I just give my 100%, but still I got done.
Now Zia, 12 wickets in this tournament. Tell me about your effectiveness with the ball in hand. You've also bowled a lot in the last 5 overs. How much have you enjoyed this new role that the team has given you?
Actually, I love to bowl on especially that kind of situation, difficult situations. I enjoy that kind of situation. So because I know my ability, so I always ask even the captain to give me a over, especially in that kind of crucial conditions.
Well, here you see some of your highlights in terms of with the bat in hand today. You were able to get a few up the middle of the bat. What was different, especially against spin, for you in your batting approach?
Actually, for the spinner, I just wish for a fuller bowler. Because the wicket is difficult, some balls up and down. So I just try to pick up a fuller ball.
For your team now, who picked up their 5th win in the tournament, what's going to be important for you guys as you go through the different weekends in terms of against tough opposition, the strikers, the thunderbolts, etc.?
Yeah, actually we are trying to giving best, and actually we have 2 losses, like Batsal is not playing in our team and Hamad was also injured. So, but our team combination is very well. So we are just trying to play as a family, and we are just trying to keep winning.
Such an important all-rounder for the Grizzlies. Zia, congrats to you on your player of the match performance, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Well, there he is. Zia Shahzadi did it all today. 3 wickets with the ball, 2 innings, and then with the runs as well. And later today, you don't want to miss this. The defending champions, unbeaten team up against the East Bay Blazers, who are playing some fantastic cricket in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. That's starting live 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. Join us very soon for the action. It's been a real pleasure to cover cricket from Morgan Hill, California for this 3rd weekend of the Minor League. Look forward to seeing you in just a few minutes' time for the action.
You're watching the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco.